Live from the land of cheese, beer, and
Hey.
Yes,
Here we
yes,
are.
indeed.
Here we are. Good afternoon. It's John and Gordy,
It is.
live from our studios in Madison, Wisconsin, with the afternoon show. That's John Peterson. I'm Gordy Young, along with our producer, Aaron Zommers. Good afternoon, Aaron. How are you?
Good afternoon. Doing well.
If you could troubleshoot the echo effect that we have going.
I'm working on it.
Okay.
It threw us off just a little,
Yeah.
just a tad.
Seems like we're okay
Yeah.
right now, anyway. Yeah.
Well, I don't know if we're okay, but yes. Everything is just fine now, right?
Sure.
I think.
We have
Oh,
sunny
man.
skies in Madison. It's a beautiful day, man. It warmed up nicely, 35 degrees, and pretty nice all across the state.
Yes, I was able to get my my battery into my Prius.
Yeah.
The 12-volt battery, not the actual hybrid battery. That would be quite the task. I've already done that once before on an older Prius, but I've got a 2014, and it works just fine.
Good.
And one of the buying tips about buying a hybrid car is not getting them real old, because there'll be a shelf life basically for your battery. Your hybrid battery, and you don't want to get it at the end of its life.
I see.
So if you go back, more than 10 years, you're looking for trouble.
And did you have to replace a hybrid battery before?
I did. I had a 2006 Prius, and I had to replace the battery.
Wow.
They do have off-market batteries, which are much cheaper. And there's a guy on the east side that I went to who does all of this stuff. He's incredible, really incredible. But anyway, yes, it's something you should think about when you're buying a hybrid car, just how old that battery is going to be.
Okay. So 2006, so almost 20 years old, but you replaced it a few years ago.
I don't even have that car anymore.
Oh, okay. You got rid of that one.
Yep.
Okay. But so you just had to replace the 12-volt battery.
No. Well,
today,
today the 12-volt battery, a new one went in, one that lasts a whole heck of a lot longer. You can even send it in the mail because it doesn't have sloshy liquid acid in them. Yeah.
That's good.
So it's a pretty cool battery. I wish I could get one for my 2006 hybrid Highlander.
Why can't you?
I don't think I'm getting that much better mileage because it's a hybrid, but I mean, it's fine. It needs a battery every 2 weeks or so.
That seems like a lot.
Well, you know what? We went through that, and it's one of those models that has a trickle drain on the battery, something in the car uses the battery constantly. And if you don't use it very often, it trickles all the power out of the 12-volt battery.
Oh, that's no
And so we got a trickle charger. So it just attaches to it to keep the battery up and running.
Wow.
You find out all these little things.
Sure. Yeah.
And you have to maneuver around them. That's the thing. Okay. I just want to say how proud I think we are. Having predicted this a while back. If people listen to the morning show, we were on this thing right away, but we asked psychologists out there to please tell us what's wrong with the president. Please.
But we asked a long time.
We asked a long time ago. We noticed that this guy had a pattern going. I mean, he's truly paranoid, truly incredibly troubled. And we thought, it's so obvious that why isn't anybody writing about this? Why aren't reporters on this particular issue? And now after his little tirade against Rob Reiner, everybody's seeing this now.
Yes.
Everybody.
Even a lot of Republicans.
Yes. A lot of Republicans, a lot of the spokespeople on the right are talking about it. We haven't heard from our mega callers because they're a little embarrassed. They're afraid to come out now because Trump has embarrassed them, made them feel very insecure. This guy's dangerous, and he's going to be on tonight.
Yeah, tonight is the
8:30 or 8.
I think it's 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock
our time, Central Time.
But I mean,
speech to the nation.
Obviously, he's going to go to war. He's just going to wildly, on his own, declare war. And we've got
You think so?
people in the House and Senate that aren't doing a damn thing at all. It should infuriate even conservatives, even if you're a MAGA. You got to wonder why these people are supposedly representing you and not doing anything. It's so odd and so strange. I've never lived at a time like this in my entire life. Seriously, this is crazy stuff.
Well, now, have you heard something that the rest of us have not heard? Is he going to declare some sort of military action against Venezuela? We don't really know what he's going to say.
Just a lot of the pundits have been talking about that's probably it. They've barricaded off Venezuela now, blocking all the tankers. It's big. Yeah. It's big.
Okay.
Yeah. And of course, the healthcare revolt also taking place. Some moderates managed to sign on with the Democrats to get a vote on this now in the House. So we'll see where that takes us. I don't know.
Apparently that vote won't come until January. It's not going to come before Christmas because they're ready for, they got to take holidays. They got to take some time off. Every time we turn around, they're off for a couple of weeks.
Yeah. And that's the thing too.
These guys done. Nothing gets done.
But they don't realize the tension level of the American public. I mean, why do we have to deal with this? We don't know what's going to happen. We have high premium bills coming up. If you're on the ACA, and a lot of people are, there are high premium bills coming up, and it's going to come out of your checking account. And we should know what is going on. We have to budget this. Now, the ballroom. Let's talk about the ballroom a second. The ballroom has an added $100,000 to it. Now it's up to $400,000. A million. I'm sorry, $400 million. It's up.
Yeah, right.
From 200, 350. Remember, we were talking about that. Oh boy, that's way up. Now it's up to 400 million. Yeah, it's just outrageous. What are we doing?
And a judge okayed that it can be done now.
Yeah.
I mean, okay,
they're so far over on this thing, and the same thing with the tariffs, right? He's gone so far with the tariffs that we can't possibly, take them back.
Right.
So, and that's the threat against the Supreme Court at this point. But I don't think they should listen to that because the president has a lot more power. He can certainly do very similar things with tariffs, not completely the same. But he can do similar tariffs on countries specifically targeted. So I don't know. This guy, he's a madman in the White House. I don't want to call it. I'm not thinking it's calling him a name. He truly is not all there.
Well, and with this Vanity Fair article that came out from the chief of staff, I mean, just confirming everything that we've been hearing. I mean, this is the person that's at his right hand, helping him do everything every day, understanding just kind of what he has to deal with, how he deals with things, and he's not well. All right, let's go to the phone line. So we have Matt. Matt, what do you got?
Hey guys. This whole Venezuela thing, the MAGA movement, I just had to call and just mention the utter instability and fear and violence that they're spreading. And they seem to salivate with it. They enjoy it. We know Trump gets off on violence.
Yeah.
But mental illness with this Reiner murder.
Yes. Yeah.
And I've met people who came back from Iraq and Afghanistan delivering the mail. I talked to people and they come back very damaged and always regret having been fooled by their country into doing such a thing.
Yeah.
And that's what is going to come back from this war is just more unstable, mentally ill people who our country does not care for properly when they come back. And it just leads to more violence and mental illness and all the things that our society is plagued with.
Yeah.
So I hope to God we don't do it.
Well, I know.
Yeah. We'll have to see what he has to say tonight.
Yeah.
Presidential address
Well,
from the Oval Office.
Malcolm Nance, it was on the Stephanie Miller show this morning.
Yeah.
And he mentioned that, it's not just so much going to war and being a part of that, but you can also have accidents happen.
Well, sure.
The soldiers, the troops.
Oh, yeah.
Carrying out whatever duties they have to do could be injured or killed in the process. And it's not even, participating in the war project here that this administration seems to be working so hard on.
Yeah.
It puts everybody's lives at risk here, and a lot of Americans in danger.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no doubt.
All right. Well,
a little bit later on at 3:30, we're going to talk to Mike McCabe, as we do every Wednesday. And then we're going to check in and find out the latest on the Hannah Dugan trial, the trial of Judge Dugan from Mario Corin. And then we're also going to talk to George Cheng, who's the co-founder of Code 4, and how AI is helping to reduce the workload for the Amory Police Department. So we'll find out about that.
Amory, Wisconsin.
Yes. Yep. Later in the show.
All right. Why don't we get to,
we
I guess we rambled a little long here, but
well, we'll get the phone number out there.
But here's the thing, really trying, just kind of focusing on, the troubled man that is in the White House.
Yes.
There is something that should be said about it. There should be something, certainly expanded on by the news media to take a look at this individual, and take a look at how he has reacted to almost everything. He's constantly calling everybody a liar, a cheat, committing fraud, taking advantage of all of these things he sees around him constantly. And no one does that. Again, it's a random thing that some people might go through, might just go off the deep end because of an issue. I understand that, but not every day, every hour looking at, he's prosecuting people, vengefully prosecuting people that he just has an axe to grind with. I don't understand.
Revenge and retribution. And
then he come right out and say, this is why they're doing it. And don't they know that in a courtroom, that'll probably be used against them?
I don't
know.
Yeah.
I can throw up my hands in the air here.
Okay. Well, don't do that yet, because we've got a lot more show to go. 855-752-4842 is our number. You can call us, 855-75-CIVIC, or get on the Civic Media app, which is free to download and free to use.
I got a long thing. We're going to get into Erica Kirk, who appeared on CBS.
Yeah. Okay.
Right? We're going to get into that.
Boy.
And Rob Reiner's opinion of Charlie Kirk's death. And then a few other people who are very angry with Trump for saying what he did about Reiner.
Yep. So, all that's coming up. It's John and Gordy in the afternoon on the Civic Media Radio Network.
The dreams in which I'm dying are the best I've ever had. I find it hard to tell you. I find it hard to take. When people run in circles, it's a very, very mad world. Mad world.
92.7 WMDX, almost as addictive as your group chat.
Join El Sazon Jarocho on Plaza Drive for karaoke every Friday and Saturday at 8:30 for margaritas, pizza, and wings. Plus, stop in for lunch Monday through Friday from 11 to 3. El Sazon Jarocho. You won't leave hungry, just happy.
Happy holidays, happy holidays, happy holidays.
Oh, hello, everyone. Judy Summers from Summers Tree Farm, located on Rocky Dell Road, 3 miles west of Middleton, exit 250 Airport Road. The farm opens the day after Thanksgiving, 8 to 5 daily. We close at noon Christmas Eve. Visit our website at summerschristmastreefarm.com. We look forward to seeing you. Happy holidays from the Summers family.
Today's job market is full of demand for skilled trade workers. Electricians, welders, mechanics, these and other trades are the backbone of every community. They're also a huge part in making sure the Army National Guard is always fulfilling its mission of service to our country and communities. Soldiers train to keep the power flowing, engines running, and supplies moving. The skilled trades these soldiers perform are the same ones needed in today's civilian workforce. Army National Guard soldiers are on the fast track to learning skills that can set them up for success at home with companies looking to hire the best. With options from plumber to helicopter mechanic and everything in between, soldiers are able to select the trades that best fit their lives. Their resumes are being built through their paid training and part-time service. Find out how you too can learn a trade profession and serve your community and country by visiting NationalGuard.com. Sponsored by the Wisconsin Army National Guard. Aired by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association and this station.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
At age 30, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, you can do it.
I'm going slightly mad. I'm going slightly mad. It finally happened. It finally happened. Oh, it finally happened. I'm slightly mad. Oh dear.
It's John and Gordy in the
I'm one card short of a full deck.
And we've got a lot of stories to get to this afternoon.
Yes, we do. 23 minutes past the hour. Phone lines are open right now.
Yeah.
If you want to jump in, 855-752-4842. And, of course, you can always use the Civic Media app. Okay.
We found out that the madman in the White House is very angry with CBS.
Oh, really?
He doesn't like what's going on over there, even though they're doing everything they can to make him happy. CBS News is facing scrutiny now because of their primetime town hall, moderated by Barry Weiss, who is their appointed editor-in-chief for CBS News. She hosted this little debacle
with Erica Kirk.
Yes, Erica Kirk.
Yeah, how'd that go?
It was a soft approach to asking questions.
Softballs.
Yeah, CBS framed Kirk's grifting as a national conversation on political violence and anti-Semitism, leaned heavily into ideological and religious frameworks. It invoked Christian faiths, spiritual revival, and moral decline. No context or challenges that blurred the line between journalism and advocacy. It was the lack of ideological balance and the framing of the conversation as objective journalism rather than a belief-centered forum, which is sad. I mean, that's the critique that they gave of this particular show, and I think they're right on the money. It's just
I actually didn't see it, but
saw clips of this thing.
Right. Yeah.
But it's just I don't know. It's an unusual forum for CBS.
Well,
CBS News. Wow.
I don't think it got good reviews either.
No, I don't think so. And I think
it
it shocked a lot of people that something like this would take place. This is the Blaze material. This is
right. Yeah.
This is not something you want to see on CBS News.
No.
But again, this is an over-the-air television network. And they are up to exceptional scrutiny by the FCC if they step out of line. This isn't a cable channel anymore.
Yeah.
So, if people have a complaint, they could always object now to the FCC. and turn this baby around. That's what I'm thinking. We could advocate, couldn't we? John and Gordy say, call up CBS now, or call up the FCC.
Yeah.
Brendan Card, bother him a while. It's bothering us.
Now I heard that that deal between Paramount or Netflix, and who are they trying to buy? I've lost track.
Well, Paramount tried to, a hostile takeover.
Yes.
Of Warner.
Of Warner Brothers, yes.
And the thing
Warner Brothers rejected that.
Well, yes. What?
The board of directors, they are favoring they're favoring the Netflix deal.
Yes.
Let me back up.
Yes.
They rejected the Paramount deal.
And it wasn't so much because they're brave and that's what they decided to do. Jared Kushner pulled out his financing on the deal with Paramount.
Okay.
And seeing this thing go south, basically, he ran from it and left everybody in the lurch. So, it was Warner saying, I think Netflix is the place to go.
Yeah, although they haven't really done the deal yet.
Yeah.
But they rejected Paramount's offer. So that's where it stands now.
Interesting story about the Academy Awards moving to YouTube TV.
Streaming, yeah. Isn't that something?
YouTube TV is doing some very interesting things. We'll have a report on that. I'm watching it very closely. They're going to try something completely new and different, and I think this is the way to go. What they're going to do is give you packages based on your interest. So you can have a YouTube TV package with just kind of sports channels.
Yeah.
Or a TV package that has only to do with news.
Right.
Instead of giving you this broad spectrum of all these different shows and all these different networks, you can just pick and choose which ones, and it will be a bargain.
A la carte.
Yeah,
that
it'll be a bargain.
Much more appealing to me as somebody who, I don't have YouTube TV, but if I could just get the things I wanted, I probably would.
Yes.
If it was cheaper enough.
Yes. I had YouTube TV for a while.
Yeah. I still have it. Yeah. I like it.
I don't like the way it archives things. It just saves everything. But I'm hoping that they go to this smaller format, becomes more affordable, and then I can get all these news channels.
Right.
And without paying $100 a month. I'm not happy with that bill.
Right.
So, because I have Hulu. Hulu Plus.
Okay.
Anyway, that's a really cool thing that's coming up. So HBO or YouTube TV is really doing something brand new. I think all of them should be going to that format too. We had too many streaming networks. I told you this wouldn't work. I knew it wouldn't work. I thought,
told you so.
The thing is, Disney does not like to release anything. Remember, they release things and they put them back in the vault.
Yes.
This was the way they did it back then.
Yes.
So I knew that they weren't going to release everything. They have this huge library of stuff.
Of course.
And they didn't release hardly any of it. And they were wondering, gee, now what do we do? And we can't produce all these shows. It's too costly. And they found out the hard way.
Yeah.
So they're making changes as well.
Yes. It's a changing landscape.
It is.
All right. 29 minutes past the hour. We've got the Midwest Food and Farm Report next. And we'll be back with more of John and Gordy on a Wednesday afternoon after this.
Talk radio for people who mute their TVs. 92.7 WMDX. Construction barrels bloom every spring. So do opinions. WMDX, guiding Madison through life's most predictable surprises.
Current commodity cheese prices are slightly lower than normal for the holiday and post-holiday season. One cheesemaker tells me that it has to do with some price uncertainty from the record-long government shutdown, which halted the release of some data. Also, export markets are affected by a strong European market. But despite that pressure, that cheese processor is optimistic for 2026. I'm Stephanie Hoff for the Midwest Farm Report, talking with Kim Hyman of Nasonville Dairy in Marshfield. He says the dairy industry is benefiting from a strong consumer trend toward diets higher in protein.
What you're seeing now is just the proteins that people are looking for into their diets are what's really pushing the dairy industry right now, whether that be through the fats or through the whey proteins or through the cheese itself. People are looking for the higher protein value into their diets, and cheese really fits the mold for that. So that's been a tremendous asset for us. Everyone from the cooks and chefs to the nutritional people have been really good at being able to incorporate more dairy into the diets right now.
So despite some of that short-term price pressure, Kim Hyman of Nasonville Dairy says the long-term forecast is bullish. More evidence to support that is that processors nationwide are investing into dairy capacity expansion. This includes Nasonville Dairy. We'll take a look at more agribusiness news after this.
Winter is a good time to evaluate your livestock's health. BioVet loves seeing healthy animals contribute to your farm's profitability. Freeing up your time for the holidays is at the top of our list. When you choose BioVet microbial and nutritional products to keep your livestock out of the sick pen and healthy, you'll enjoy more time with your family this holiday season. Many thanks and warm wishes from our BioVet family to yours. Help your livestock stay healthy and call 1-800-BioVet1 or visit bio-vet.com.
Take the Midwest Farm Report wherever you go with the Midwest Farm Report app. Get real-time updates that matter to Wisconsin agriculture and food production. Connect directly with the Midwest Farm Report team, stream your favorite farm podcasts, and share your ag photos right from your phone with one easy tap. From the fields to your feed, stay current with the Midwest Farm Report app. It's free and available now for Apple and Android. Download the Midwest Farm Report app today.
In other dairy news, Wisconsin has contained its first case of bird flu in dairy cattle. The milk in question was intercepted and never made it to the processing side. Even so, health officials emphasize that pasteurization keeps the milk supply safe. The focus now shifts to determining the source of the infection. The Department of Agriculture, Trade, and Consumer Protection says the farm was adhering to high standards of biosecurity. Speculation leans toward a wild bird infection as the most likely cause. For the Midwest Farm Report, I'm Stephanie Hoff.
From the Capitol to your kitchen table, Madison's biggest stories live right here on 92.7 WMDX.
I'm meteorologist Rodney Price. A mix of clouds and sunshine as we head into the afternoon. South winds developing with highs in the mid-30s. More clouds tonight and rain will develop, and temperatures rising to near 40 by dawn. Increasing south winds up around 30 miles per hour. Right now, it's 37.
Pete Schwaba. A mom popped into elementary school to deliver some paperwork, leaving her 10-year-old son in the car outside. They found the car in the garage and the child in the house with the dad. He had had an argument with his mom and decided to drive himself home. Officers declined to charge the boy because he's too young to be held criminally responsible. Put that kid in juvie, baby.
Don't worry, officer. We're going to ground him.
Nightlight with Pete Schwaba, weeknights from 5 to 8 p.m. on the Civic Media Radio Network.
This is Robert Pilot, host of Native Roots Radio. On our show, we talk about Native issues like treaties, protecting Mother Earth, and holding our elected officials accountable. You'll also hear from Turtle Island voices like Arvina. Human issues are Native issues.
Native Roots Radio, weeknights at 8 on your local.
The Mad King. Wow.
It's John and Gordy in the afternoon here on the Civic Media Radio Network. You can give us a call, 855-752-4842. Phone lines are open right now. So jump on in.
We're talking about Erica Kirk's town hall special on CBS, and people didn't react real well to it because it's an official stamp of CBS News. Hardly news. But I want to get to Rob Reiner's reaction to Charlie Kirk's death. I think it says a lot about him and why we are so defensive about Rob Reiner in the first place. I mean, he was a really, really great guy, nice guy. And he tried so hard to help his son out, and to this end, essentially.
Yeah.
So this is Pierce Morgan interviewing Rob Reiner and his thoughts on Charlie Kirk. Let's listen. This is cut 146.
Here we go.
All right.
146 is the Space Force theme.
Oh. Stand by.
Stand by.
Okay.
I can play that if you want.
No, well, I don't think it's nice to hear.
We
but
sang
not
to
right
it yesterday, and I was a little off. I know, didn't hit the right notes. So there's nothing there with Rob Reiner's name in it or Charlie Kirk or anything like that.
Still checking.
All right.
Okay.
Well, let's get to. Let's skip to something else. Let's skip to Marjorie Taylor Greene's reaction to Donald Trump's reaction to Rob Reiner's death. And this is what she wrote. Rob Reiner and his wife were tragically killed at the hands of their own son, who reportedly had drug addiction and other issues. And their remaining children are left in serious mourning and heartbreak. This is a family tragedy, not about politics or political enemies. Many families deal with a family member with drug addiction and mental health issues. It's incredibly difficult and should be met with empathy, especially when it ends in murder. Now, empathy is like an unusual word for anybody on the right to use.
Right.
So I don't know.
But Marjorie Taylor Greene, that's a good statement from her. And, it's such a tragedy. Nick Reiner, at the age of 15, was the first time he went into rehab and was in rehab multiple times, something like 18 times over the last 10 years or so.
Well, you don't want to see something like this happen.
And it's just awful.
No.
And all right.
We're
still looking for that
Still
cut?
haven't found that cut yet, huh? All right. Well, we'll just we'll skip that one.
Skip ahead.
Okay, we'll just move on from there.
All right.
But he was very, very complimentary and very kind about the whole thing, and understood exactly the terror and the horror of that family, what they were going through. All right, now let's go to other words of wisdom. We don't give a lot of attention to somebody like Nick Fuentes. All right, we don't we don't like to give him a lot of time because he is a self-described Hitler lover, but he also kind of likes back and forth. He goes from liking him to hating him. Trump. He has this comment about Trump, what he said about Rob Reiner, and let's listen to that.
Forget for a moment that we are in a war. Someone gets murdered by their son. It's a horrific tragedy. This is a horrible story. And nobody deserves that. I don't care what their politics are, what they said on the internet or on television. Nobody deserves to be murdered, stabbed to death with their wife by their own son, who they tried to help, and their best friend discovers the corpses. It's despicable. And it's despicable to make fun of that. And I do think that, look, somebody like George Bush passes away of old age at the very end, and you talk about his political legacy, that's one thing. Some guy, some producer, some civilian dies at the hands of his kid. It's such a grisly situation. It is objectively awful to make fun of that. Now, if Trump were actually doing what he promised to do, you could overlook the fact that he's a douchebag. You could overlook the fact that he's vain, that he's a narcissist, that he's tactical but not strategic. You could overlook all these things if he was bringing home the goods. That was kind of the deal in 2016. You said, we don't love everything about Trump, but you know what? We're willing to accommodate. It's an acquired taste, but it's okay because he's doing all these other things. Well, what's actually the pitch now? We get nothing. No one should be making fun of that. It's not funny. Who could honest to God look at that and laugh? It's awful that this guy had a daughter who now has to live with this. Her brother is in prison for murdering her parents who are now dead. Her life is shattered and destroyed, and so many people's lives are destroyed. You go on True Social and make a joke about Trump derangement syndrome. It just goes to show there was never anything there. There was never a center. It was always empty.
Bottom line.
It was always, there was nothing inside there.
Yeah.
And there's something tragic about that. Being a part of it for so long. I mean, I jumped off along the way, but you thought at one time that Trump really believed in America, believed in people, or something. I think he believes honestly in nothing. And now the only thing that's left is whatever people are projecting onto it. Whether that's they still think they're fighting the left or whatever it is. The only thing that's left is what people still believe is there, what people are projecting, and that's coming from themselves.
That's right.
This doesn't exist.
Yeah. So it's empty.
So that's Nick Fuentes.
Yeah. I kind of like how he kind of summed it up at the end.
Yeah.
And this guy is as far right as anybody can get. So it's not good news for Trump anyway. People are falling away from this guy. Like even sports guy Stephen A. Smith. He's kind of loud.
Yes.
He likes to be loud. It makes an impression on people. But anyway, he was on board with Trump for a long time, but this didn't make him very happy. So let's listen to Stephen A. Smith. You'll recognize
a core level of decency where somebody gets killed, somebody gets murdered. That ain't the time to be sticking out your chest and basically indicating that they brought it on themselves because of whatever, when there should never be any place for violence. And you would think that our commander-in-chief, the president of the United States of America, would know this better than anybody. But evidently this man does not. Because guess what? I want a healthy debate about Trump in terms of are the tariffs working? Did he do the right thing with the border? How's the economy? Is inflation really ravaging us? Are these commitments that he's gotten, these pledges of trillions of dollars that are supposed to be coming into the United States of America, is that real? We're about 42 million people on SNAP, and some of them still don't have their SNAP programs in place for them. How about the fact that a resolution wasn't reached in terms of the Affordable Care Act subsidies and whether or not they're going to be extended for a year or 3 years or not at all? How are the American people going to survive off of the high elevated level of prices that are going to come courtesy of the premiums? That's what I would like to be discussing. So when the president talks about how great he is and all these things that he has done, I'd like to focus on that. But it's stuff like this where all of that gets shoved aside because the classlessness, the juvenile tendencies, the lack of statesmanship, the trifling ass tendencies that he exercises and puts on display time and time again knows no limits. Knows no limits. Rob Reiner and his wife just got murdered, and the president is blaming Trump derangement syndrome. In other words, they were so nasty towards him, that's why it happened. This is the kind of stuff that's going to get GOP folks out of office. And why am I bringing that up? Because guess what? Even though you speak out against them and how disgusting and vile it is and inexcusable, you're going to speak up in arms in defense of him and march lockstep with him under most circumstances. A lot of times shoving aside the rhetoric because you're saying that's just Trump being Trump. And then you're going to wonder why your ass is going to get booted out of office.
There you go. So
that's Stephen A. Smith, sports.
These guys, they really sum it up well.
Yeah,
I don't agree with them very often, but on this, I guess we can agree. Doug sent us a text saying Trump is a putrid mix of toxic masculinity, which is why he reacts so badly to being questioned or challenged by anything. Malignant narcissism and a lack of education and critical thinking.
Douglas from Madison.
That is it right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you have a comment or a question, you can call us 855-752-4842.
Now we do have the cut where Rob Reiner reacted to Charlie Kirk's shooting. So let's see how he dealt with something like this.
When you first heard about the murder of Charlie Kirk,
What was your immediate gut reaction to it?
Well, horror, absolute horror. And I unfortunately saw the video of it, and it's beyond belief what happened to him, and that should never happen to anybody. I don't care what your political beliefs are. That's not acceptable. That's not a solution to solving problems. And I felt like what his wife said at the service, at the memorial they had, was exactly right. And totally, I believe, I'm Jewish, but I believe in the teachings of Jesus, and I believe in doing to others, and I believe in forgiveness. And what she said to me was beautiful and absolutely, she forgave his assassin, and I think that is admirable.
Mm-hmm. Yep, there you go.
So that's Rob Reiner.
That was his reaction to a shooting death.
Yeah, death of Charlie Kirk. Yeah,
yeah.
And we're getting some more texts in here from this one from Windsor. Says, why would Stephen Smith think that the president of the United States would know any better? To know of Trump's existence is to expect this kind of behavior.
Yes, pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much. In fact,
that says it all.
Now, we were talking about Charlie Kirk here, saying, how tragic his death was. But there is a woman still, quoting Charlie Kirk to Republicans and making sure that, when Republicans celebrate what Charlie Kirk stood for, what he said, his position on certain issues, this woman was very angry about all of those things because they have posters up for Charlie Kirk. And by the way, it just bothers me so much that we want to put a Turning Point USA in our public schools.
Right, yeah. Club America or something like that.
Yeah, yes, as right. Club America. They had to rename it so you wouldn't know it. But anyway, it's just so insane to think that is going on behind the scenes.
Mm-hmm.
And a woman got very upset when she was going through, I believe, the House or the Senate. I'm not quite sure where, but she saw posters up of Charlie, in tribute to what he stood for. And she quoted a whole bunch of lines from Charlie to them, and we'll get to that in just a few moments.
Okay. And again, we're taking your calls. If you want to jump in, 855-752-4842. Coming up in our 3 o'clock hour, Mike McCabe will join us. And much more straight ahead on John and Gordy in the afternoon.
Just a little bit. R-E-S-P-C-T. Find out what it means to me. R-E-S-P-C-T. Take out T-C-T. Sock it to me, 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 sock it to me. Little bit, little bit, just a little bit. I get tired, little bit. Keep on trying, just a little bit. I'm running out of food, little bit. I ain't lying, just a little bit.
Stay connected to the stories shaping your community and Wisconsin right here on 92.7 FM WMDX and on the Civic Media app.
Hey, honey, how was your day?
Yours?
Pretty good. Guess what? The boss asked me to find a place for the holiday party this year.
Oh, I know a place that'd be
Yes, right here. We think so alike.
No,
we can
wait,
put some
wait.
text.
No, not
what?
our house. Sugar River Pizza.
You
you already told them they could be here, didn't you?
Yeah,
I'm
well-
sure you thought catering from Sugar River would be just fine.
Sure.
Yeah, but you've seen that huge room in the back of the Sugar River Pizza at their Sun Prairie location.
Yes.
It's ideal for a holiday party.
Well, yes.
Fabulous pizza, that pulled pork you love, pasta, soup, sandwiches.
Yeah.
Anyone can get exactly what they want.
And it's better than your meatloaf. Well, let me call them.
What'd you just say? You said you like my meatloaf.
I did. No, Sugar River Pizza in Sun Prairie. That is a great idea. You're brilliant. Thanks, hon.
Plan your next office or holiday party with Sugar River Pizza in Sun Prairie. Get to sugarriverpizza.com/catering to book today.
What exactly is wrong with my meatloaf?
I like it. Most of the time,
Wait,
it's pretty
most
good.
of the time?
Well, most
Pretty
yeah,
good?
Kind of, yeah.
CVS Health supports people in the moments that matter, from picking up a prescription to connecting care. With nearly 5 million daily interactions and serving 185 million consumers and 1.5 million healthcare professionals, CVS Health holds a trusted place in healthcare. By simplifying care and improving health, we're helping people get the care they need. Learn more at cvshealth.com/investor day.
Good news and great conversation for your local community. Here's Terry Barr with the Civic Media Radio Network.
Madison's own disco funk supergroup VO5 is celebrating its 20th year. The band has played more than 600 shows, 30 weddings, and has a legacy of glitter stretching back to 2005. But drummer Gail Campbell says VO5 wasn't always sure about disco music.
I wasn't sure about the audience, and we started to play I Want You Back, and suddenly they were right at the stage, and people were smiling, totally into it, and I was like, this is awesome.
And VO5 hasn't stopped since, even receiving a proclamation from the Madison mayor for Days of Disco in honor of VO5. John Faith plays guitar.
Every single show, I think, okay, people are finally going to get tired. And it just becomes a party. People want to dance and people don't want to stop.
So whether you love disco or secretly love disco, happy anniversary to VO5. Until next time, I'm Terry Barr.
Seems like nobody in America agrees on much of anything these days.
But can we agree the federal government shouldn't tax people into poverty?
If you work full-time, you should be able to afford your basic needs. Don't you think? We're the patriotic millionaires.
We believe your full-time job should cover what it costs to live. You think your first
John and Gordy, the afternoon with the Civic Media Radio Network. Pretty nice day across most of Wisconsin. We've got sunshine here in Madison at our studios, block off the Capitol, and it's looking bright and beautiful out there, and temperatures nice and mild in the 30s this afternoon. Wow, feels like a heat wave.
I know, it really does feel like a heat wave. Wow.
We'll take it. Yeah.
You know, it's so funny. We've got so many different sources now of news. You know,
Yeah.
we don't have CNN in the studio anymore. We have a different one, a free one, and it's Scripps News, and it's actually pretty darn good. They're really working hard to become a credible network news source.
Right.
And I was telling you that I have a Samsung watch and phone, and all of a sudden I'm finding, notifications for Samsung News.
Now I have a Samsung phone too, but I haven't seen those.
Yeah. I don't know how that
check it
happened.
out. Yeah.
Guess you need the watch to get in, man.
Guess so.
Get into the club, my friend.
All right.
All right. Well, we've touched on very dark spots so far today, light spots, but let's go back into the dark, okay?
Do we have to go back into the
yes,
darkness?
this time I think you're going to like this.
No.
This is the dark left.
Oh, okay.
And this is cut 149.
All right.
Let's listen.
Okay.
Extremism never lasts on any side. Not because it's loud and not because it's scary, but because it's fucking senseless and exhausting. Every extremist movement runs on the same three things: fear, rage, and the lie that someone else is stealing what you're owed. And the lie feels powerful until it collapses under its own weight, which it always does. But here's what history also tells us, and people love to skip this part. It doesn't collapse quietly. It collapses with body counts and broken systems and years that are lost. History didn't whisper these lessons to us, it screamed them. Fascists and theocrats and strong men with fragile egos, they all promise order and they all deliver chaos. Because once you built a movement on MAGA purity tests and Trump loyalty oaths, there's always someone who isn't pure enough or loyal enough. So the circle tightens and it tightens, and eventually they're fighting each other instead of reality. Extremists don't win because they're popular. They win because nobody got in their way and stopped them. They don't need half the country on their side. They just need you staying quiet and complacent, saying someone else will deal with it. Democracy doesn't die in a big dramatic moment. It dies slowly and quietly, while everyone's waiting for the perfect time to give it. So if you're thinking, this doesn't affect me yet, well, that's usually the thought people have right before it does.
Oh, remember, I'm not the dark left. Together, we're the dark left. Please join me in helping to call out the bullshit and bring some sanity back to the conversation.
There you go.
It's dark left.
Yeah, the dark left.
Extremism. Okay.
We're going to have him on the show sometime. I
Yeah,
did call him, and we haven't gotten back to him since our time changes here. You know,
yes.
Mornings, afternoons, afternoons, mornings.
Right. It's back and forth, but
Yeah.
eventually it'll settle in.
It'll settle.
Yeah, after we get through the holidays here, because that's, holidays are crazy enough anyway.
They are.
With people taking time off, and we're going to take some time off. We're doing some other shows in between. It's a crazy time of year.
It is. It is. Let's get to what's going on in healthcare for the ACA anyway. And this is a recording that I put together from Representative Brendan Boyle. He's a Republican, and he's talking about what is in the updated bill here. And let's go to that. We'll cut 151. All right.
Joining us now is Congressman Brendan Boyle, a Democrat from Pennsylvania and the ranking member on the House Budget Committee, where most of the ACA subsidy fight has been unfolding. So let me start here. I mean, there's been a lot of noise out there of, Republicans saying, we have a plan to fix healthcare and lower healthcare costs too. And it kind of sounds good, right? And if you're shopping for Christmas presents, you're like, well, they have a plan. But that's not the reality here. Break down for us kind of what their plans are and why it doesn't kind of meet the mark.
The original sin here is the Republican tax bill this summer. That bill essentially throws 15 million Americans off their health care in order to pay for tax breaks for billionaires.
That's right.
Now that the first of those cuts are about to take effect January 1, and that's to Obamacare, you have some pretend moderates who they like to play moderate at election time, but then they always vote with Trump and always vote with Republican leadership. They're attempting to do something to repair the damage that their vote helped inflict on the American people. But let's not forget, the new Republican healthcare plan that they just introduced, that they're debating right now in Rules Committee, and we're supposed to vote tomorrow on the House floor, it doesn't erase any of the losses of the 15 million Americans who are about to lose their health care. In fact, the Congressional Budget Office has a report out today saying an additional 100,000 people a year will also lose their health care because of this new Republican plan. So that is exactly where we stand right now. And the reality is, in addition to the millions of Americans who are going to lose their health care, there are also tens of millions more who are facing price hikes through the roof because of these Republican bills. All House Democrats agree we're going right up to the deadline here. Let's just have a clean extension. Not one Republican is signed on to this discharge. Just tonight, Republican leadership shot down their own Republican amendments to at least do something that might not be a clean extension, but it would at least be like a half measure. In my state of Pennsylvania, I'll use this as an example. The average increase on our state exchange, 102%. Overnight, their monthly premium is doubling.
So this was all started in the big bad bill, of course, and they stuck to it. And I really want everybody to at least keep that in mind. This is what they wanted. They wanted to do away with the Affordable Care Act.
Right.
They really want to kill it. They want to make it so expensive so they can complain that it didn't handle the costs very well and it didn't tamp down increases in healthcare costs. So it's a failure, which it isn't. It's not a failure. It actually kept the cost of premiums per month for Americans down. It didn't keep healthcare itself down. See, there are two different ways of looking at this.
Right.
They want us to look at it just from the point that healthcare keeps going up.
Yep. Straight ahead, we got a news break here. We're checking on weather and sports, and then we're back in our 3 o'clock hour. Mike McCabe will join us a little bit later on. It's all coming up on John and Gordy in the afternoon.
This is 92.7 WMDX Columbus, Madison's real news and great conversation. A Civic Media station, WMDXradio.com.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. Nick Reiner made his initial appearance in court today in Los Angeles. He's facing first-degree murder charges for the stabbing deaths of his parents, director Rob Reiner and Michelle Singer. The 32-year-old and his attorney waiving his right to early arraignment. ABC News contributor and legal analyst Royal Oakes on the defense's attorney's request for a continuance.
Delaying an arraignment in a serious felony case is common, especially when there may be medical or mental health issues. It gives the defense time to evaluate the case before formally entering a plea.
In Rhode Island, police investigating the Brown University mass shooting have released a photo of a new individual. Authorities say they want to talk to a man and may have information about a person of interest seen on video released earlier by law enforcement. Warner Brothers telling its shareholders to reject a hostile takeover bid from Paramount, saying the original bid from Netflix will allow it to reach a broader audience and also be better for customers in the long run. This is ABC News.
Local news, real voices, and conversations that count. That's Madison. And that's 92.7 WMDX.
For 92.7 WMDX News, I'm Savannah Tomei Olson. One of Dane County's biggest employers is accused of being a monopoly. Epic Systems makes medical record software. They have more than 9,000 employees in Verona. As part of the Obama administration's changes to healthcare, there were huge incentives for provider companies to digitize medical records. And Epic was ready to provide that service and saw a huge boom. The company has been around for more than 4 decades. It's privately owned and led by founder and CEO Judy Faulkner. Now, the state of Texas is suing Epic, saying it's a monopoly based on its sheer domination of the market, and saying the company violates Texas business laws. And the trial for Milwaukee County Judge Hannah Dugan continues today. Here's Stuart J. Waddles.
Prosecutors and defense attorneys are trying to tell different stories about what happened when federal agents tried to arrest an undocumented man outside Judge Hannah Dugan's Milwaukee County courtroom. The trial resumes today. ICE agents testified yesterday. Dugan confronted them in the hallway, questioned their warrant, and ordered them to the chief judge's office before Eduardo Flores Ruiz slipped out of a back door and ran from the courthouse. Dugan's lawyers said she was following new courthouse policies and was worried about safety. Jurors were shown surveillance video from multiple angles. The case centers on whether Dugan knowingly helped the defendant evade arrest or was acting within her authority to manage her courtroom.
And Madison's women's soccer team now has a name. Big Top Events, the company that owns Forward Madison, the Mallards, and the Nightmares, is launching a women's team. The company accepted about 1,000 submissions for a name, and they chose Rally Madison. The logo shows the face of Wisconsin, the statue on top of the state capitol. The team will be based at Breeze Stevens Field, and their first match is in May. I'm Savannah Tomei Olson, 92.7 WMDX News.
On to the Final Four. Hi, I'm Mike Clemens with sports. Women's college volleyball. The Wisconsin Badgers in Kansas City for the NCAA Final Four, the tournament to decide the next national champion in volleyball. Mimi Collier nominated for Player of the Year on the team with a chance to win it all this weekend after beating the number 1 seed Texas in the regionals 3-1.
Most unreal feeling. It still hasn't fully soaked in, but I for sure think that was most connected we've been throughout a match. Just keeping our heads up, and even though we lost that third set, we stuck with it and came back even stronger the fourth set.
Wisconsin plays Kentucky 8 p.m. tomorrow night. Coverage on ESPN. NFL, the Packers on the practice field. They play the Bears in Chicago Saturday night. Still bruised and banged up after the Broncos game. Running back Josh Jacobs dealing with swelling in his left knee that he injured last month in New York against the Giants.
He's battling through. This guy's as tough as they come. I'll never count him out of the fight. I'll tell you that.
That's Packers head coach Matt LaFleur with sports. I'm Mike Clemens.
Parallel parking in Madison? Impossible. Finding real conversation on the radio? Probable. With 92.7 WMDX.
I'm meteorologist Rodney Price. A mix of clouds and sunshine as we head into the afternoon. South winds developing with highs in the mid-30s. More clouds tonight and rain will develop and temperatures rising to near 40 by dawn. Increasing south winds up around 30 miles per hour. Right now it's 37.
Hey there, Wisconsin. Tom Hartman here. Democracy is not a spectator sport, so join me each and every weekday right here on Civic Media for the Tom Hartman program from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Covering the news of the day and sharing ways for you to get off the sidelines and get active in your community, because change starts with you. Get involved and tune in to the Thom Hartmann program Monday through Friday from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. right here on your local Civic Media radio station.
Doctors Without Borders is delivering life-saving medical care where it's needed most in communities around the world. From bandaging war-wounded patients in Sudan to providing clean drinking water in Haiti, we're in more than 70 countries worldwide, bringing patients from sick to recovering, from emergency to aid, from crisis to care.
John and Gordy in the afternoon.
The Wisconsin landscape is lit up by a million shining stars. I am traveling up the Edens to the land of the under 21 bars. I'm going to Cheeseland, the Dells in Door County. I'm going to Cheeseland. Rednecks in trailers with families, and we are going to Cheeseland.
All in Cheeseland. Yeah. North of the Cheddar Curtain here.
That's right.
Everybody in the flatlands, they don't have cheese, sadly. We've been able to keep it from them.
Too bad for them.
Yeah, well, that's the way it is.
That's John Peterson. I'm Gordy Young, along with our producer, Aaron Sommers. And weather today, no problems at all. It's pretty nice and mild, at least around our area. And I think most of the state enjoying some pretty nice conditions for today. Nice and mild in the 30s this afternoon. Phone lines are not operating at the moment, but we'll let you know as soon as they're back. What?
If you want to call, you can use the Civic Media app, and that is working.
It is working.
That's how Matt in Middleton called us earlier.
So you can just jump on the app. It's free to download, free to use, Civic Media app. Get through that way. You can text us or call us on the app.
We got to fix this phone system, man.
Yeah.
All right.
It's buggy.
Yeah, we have been broadcasting that there is a data center that is not telling everybody the whole story.
In Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep. And we warned everybody about this. We've played at least, I think, 2 stories so far that around the country, there are big problems with data centers. And, one, it was Elon Musk, his data center.
Yeah.
And I can't remember what the other one was, Georgia possibly. But anyway, there are
being
problems.
Very sneaky about it.
Yes. They're non-disclosure agreements are being written up so that a lot of people don't find out what those data centers will do, what they're using for energy, what they're doing for cooling, the impact it's going to have on the area around them, and so on and so forth. So there's a lot out there that we have to be concerned about. But last night on Lawrence O'Donnell, Bernie Sanders had a little feature on there, and it was interesting. This is Bernie Sanders warning us all about the AI data centers. Let's listen.
AI and robotics are the most transformative technologies in the history of humanity and will have a profound impact on the lives of every man, woman, and child in our country. 1, who is aggressively pushing these technologies? Well, surprise, surprise. It happens to be the very wealthiest people on earth, people like Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg, Peter Thiel, Bill Gates, and other multi-billionaires. Do you believe that these guys are staying up nights worrying about what AI and robotics will do to the working families of our country and the world? Well, I don't think so. I think that these very, very rich men want even more wealth and even more power. Number 2, what will AI and robotics mean economically for the working class of this country? Well, don't listen to me. Listen to the people who are developing those technologies. Elon Musk recently said, quote, AI and robots will replace all jobs. Working will be optional, end quote. Bill Gates predicted that humans, quote, won't be needed for most things, end quote. Dario Amodei, the CEO of Anthropic, warned that AI could lead to the loss of half of all entry-level white-collar jobs. If AI and robotics eliminate millions of jobs and create massive unemployment, how will people survive if they have no income? But very few members of Congress are seriously thinking about this.
Yeah.
3, millions of kids in this country are becoming more and more isolated from real human relationships and are getting their emotional support from AI. Think for a moment about a future when human beings are not interacting with each other and are spending virtually all of their time with devices instead of people. But one thing is for sure, this process is moving very, very quickly, and we need to slow it down. I will be pushing for a moratorium on the construction of data centers that are powering this unregulated sprint to develop and deploy AI. This moratorium will give democracy a chance to catch up with the transformative changes that we are witnessing and make sure that the benefits of these technologies work for all of us, not just the wealthiest people on earth. Thank you very much.
Seems to make sense.
Bernie Sanders there. Yes.
I mean,
so a moratorium would
right,
be a good idea.
Isn't it strange?
Well,
Wow.
you know,
Actually a pretty good idea.
Put a freeze on everything. Just hold on.
It does seem crazy that we're running so fast into this era of data centers, right?
Yeah.
Especially AI data centers. And of course, you know, we have a story here at Civic Media. I wish I had access to it. I do not have access to it. So, but we've got a problem here in the state with a data center not explaining exactly what they're going to do and some of the details of their plans. So it's happening. Let's go to the phone lines right now. We've got Paul on the line about the data centers. What do you got for us, Paul?
Good afternoon.
Hi.
I was just over here in Minnesota, and there's a section of Minnesota near Becker in Sherburne County. Data center's been trying to go in there for a couple of years. They've been getting a lot of resistance. And this is land that was annexed by the city several years ago for development. And it's gotten so much resistance, and the city's had to spend so much money on it. What the city of Becker has done now is they've gone back to the township. And they've said, you remember that land we annexed from you? We'd like to give it back. So they gave that land back to the city of the township, from the city back to the township. When on the other side of town, now the city annexed a bunch of land over there that they can trade off acre for acre. But the city basically has gone back and said, we don't want to fight this fight. So they gave the land back to the township. And now the township's having to figure out what they're going to do with it.
Yeah.
So there is ways to get around it because the regulations that are there, they tried to go back to the township. They tried to go back to the city.
Interesting.
Because they could get around the regulations, but the city said, we don't want to fight this fight for you. Basically gave it right back to the township and said, we want our X number of acres back from you again, and we'll take it on the other side of town now, so it's away from your data centers you're going to have.
Yeah.
So there's ways to fight these guys, but the biggest thing is nobody knew what was going on, and just like Bernie just said, we don't know what their goals are. They did the same thing to us in Wisconsin here a few years ago when they went through this fan mine stuff.
Yes.
Because we didn't have regulations for that too.
Yep.
So
yeah,
they're going after where we don't have regulations.
Exactly.
All
right, Paul. Thank you.
Paul, thanks for that.
Yeah.
Let's go to Cam in Appleton. Cam, go ahead.
Hey, thanks, guys. I've actually wanted to talk about this for a while. What I'm about to say, because it's somewhat difficult to. I'm not even doing a good job of explaining this. First out, so that's a strong head start, isn't it? Okay, so I don't believe that it's quite well explained to the general public how AI trains itself and why having a trained AI is beneficial for everyone. So I would like to use a Boston Dynamics robot as an example. So we've probably all seen the videos of Boston Dynamic robots where they are able to run around. Some of them can do backflips.
Sure.
All that stuff.
Yeah.
So traditionally, before neural networking, many years ago, they would have to kind of trial and error program out these actions and detectors of objects in the vision cone of the robot. And that is time intensive. It's expensive. It drains a lot of physical resources because parts break and they have to build new parts, or they have to upgrade new parts that cost silicone, and battery drain issues where now they're using up cobalt, and it's a lot of precious resources, a lot of overall hardware, time, money, experience wasted trying to just prototype this stuff out. With AI allows you to create a virtual version of your product, and the virtual version can be copied thousands, if not millions of times, depending on the size of the data center. I've written these kinds of AI before. And the AI is basically, you're giving it a carrot on a stick and telling it, make your way to the goal. The goal is your incentive. If you reach the incentive, you get a point. If you get the point, then that means that you did a good job. Try to figure out the quickest way to get the point. And over time, you'll find that it learns. It's learning how to get that point the quickest way possible. And that's how you train them. But that saves on resources, like so many resources.
So you're thinking
and prototyping phases.
So you're thinking that these data centers will eventually have AI in them that will learn enough to actually start saving energy by not using as much energy to come to their conclusions or their formulations. Is that correct?
Well, that's not what I'm saying directly, but that is a possibility from this process.
All right.
What I'm saying is that you have these AI that are in these data centers when they have the training labs.
Yeah.
They're training in them, and as a result of their training, we don't have to go through the physical prototyping cost, which is money, resources, precious metals, and minerals, and developing that way. It saves a lot of time and resource.
But what I don't know if it does. I mean, asking for a moratorium on the construction of these data centers, do you see any advantage in doing something like that? Are you worried that maybe Bernie Sanders is dangerously trying to put a stop to data centers? What's your point on this, Cam?
I have no problem with the moratorium. I actually think it's a good idea. It's totally fair to say, hey, the general public should be able to weigh in on this because of the implications that these data centers have, and especially of the held conceptions of what they do. It should be an opportunity for people to educate. My problem, and the reason why I brought this up, is that when I've listened to the Civic Media programs, and it's not just your guys' show, and I'm not saying that I just know everything. I know I don't. But I know specifically on this topic, a lot of it that it's been repeated on this show and others has been either ill-informed, out of date, or misinformed. And it's not everything. It isn't everything at all. You guys are on the ball on like literally everything else almost all the time. It's this one specifically that I get nitpicky about, and I apologize. It's just I get scared that with this new technology, it's going to end up like Web 1.0, where a lot of the half of one generation stuck their nose up to it, refuses to interact with it, and now they're completely tech illiterate. Where now we have an opportunity to not allow that to happen with the newer generations, and not have a repeat of that.
All right, Cam, we're running out of time here. I just thought that maybe, it would be best maybe to educate people on what these data centers are doing first, and then discussing putting them in city areas.
Which I think it sounds like he agrees with.
Yeah. All right. Very good. Thanks for that, Cam. We appreciate it. We'll take more of your calls and texts when we come back with John and Gordy in the afternoon.
Feeling that good myself. But I'm not feeling good myself. You can tell the way.
WMDX, helping to keep Madison weird.
It's family time at Chula Vista with the right kind of fun for everyone. Wisconsin's most complete resort experience. Easy going with scenic river walks, a relaxing spa, or going all out in 80,000 square feet of indoor water park and cross-country skiing, sledding, snowshoeing, all right here. Check it out at chulavistaresort.com.
Spend the holidays with the Kaminsky family at Chula Vista. Check out our family specials at chulavistaresort.com.
Get ready, Madison. El Sazon Jarocho is now open on Plaza Drive. 5-star authentic Mexican cuisine, fresh, homemade, and the best prices in town. See why one review said, best tacos I've ever had in my life. El Sazon Jarocho. You won't leave hungry, just happy.
Are you ever questioning when life will slow down? Are you ever thinking of just relaxing and enjoying the simple things? All of this is possible, even while still being in the workforce. Worthington, Minnesota is a town growing, yet it's nothing like metro life. Professional and labor jobs, a beautiful lake, bike trails, recreation, acres of public hunting, festivals, and great people. Slow down. We're just a short drive away, so come join us. Worthington, it's worth a look.
Does Wisconsin have a law on minors getting birth control without parental consent? No. 9 states, including Wisconsin, have no laws specifying whether minors can get contraception without parental consent. But Wisconsin teens can access birth control on their own through Title X clinics and a state program that provides free contraceptives to low-income minors. Some providers may still require consent, and parents could learn of contraception through insurance billing. CDC data shows teen sexual activity has declined, with 32% of high school students reporting ever having sex in 2023, down from 47% in 2013. I'm Trisha Young for Wisconsin Watch. Fact briefs are bite-sized facts.
John and Gordy in the afternoon. It is a beautiful day again. 2 in a row. I don't know what to do with myself. I mean, you got to plan things outside. You got to go out for a picnic, maybe start up the grill again.
Sure, yeah, why not? Yeah, it's really nice out. Okay, let's see. Okay, people can text us on the Civic Media app.
Yes, they can also call in via the app.
They can call via the app, and I just found out we are still having trouble with our usual phone line, but you can call the WMDX phone line, 608-879-8255, the one that we usually use here at WMDX in the morning.
In the morning, sure.
So that's available to you.
Well, let's talk about what Cam might have been saying here, and you had a point on
a recap.
Right. So a little recap. We've been talking about AI, the blessings and the curses that come with it.
But
And Cam, feel free to
center.
text in and correct me if I incorrectly summarize your point. But I believe what Cam was saying, somebody who has much more experience with AI than any of the three of us do, as far as I'm aware, is that some new technologies require a lot of trial and error to figure out, and processing a lot of data and running simulated trial and error really fast is something that AI is incredible at. And so while there are a lot of environmental concerns and, intellectual property concerns for generative AI, things like that, there is a lot of good that can come from this technology. So data centers are something that we're going to need in some capacity, but we just need to figure out how to do it without wrecking the environment.
It's almost like putting the cart before the horse, because shouldn't we know what we're talking about before we start discussing building these data centers? That's my point of view. And I think we should all kind of be asking that question as well. I think that's where Bernie was coming from. Let's find out what you plan to do in those data centers.
Right.
Then give that option to the local communities that are thinking about building them.
Well, yes, and the fact that some of these data centers are being built without, very much undercover. I mean, that's a little daunting.
Yes, again, the non-disclosure agreements are just crazy. I mean, that did not add to this whole discussion at all.
And didn't we hear a news story about something being built? Is it Waupun? I'm not sure that's the case.
Yeah,
somewhere there's a data center being built in Wisconsin.
And they're not telling everybody everything.
Right. So that's that's a problem.
All right.
Okay. Rick is on the line from Waukesha. Let's move off of data centers here for a moment.
I think so. Let's talk about
something else.
EV batteries. We were talking about that yesterday.
Yeah. Rick, go ahead.
Yeah. Well, I've got a bike shop down the street that sells any electric bike in the country or world, and scooters and all of that, electric socks, you name it. And he's got a thing. I don't know how he's doing it, if it's himself or if it's a factory, but he is selling used bike batteries with guaranteed amount of time left to recharge them.
Wow.
I'm wondering if that's done with car batteries, or you got to buy the old car with the old batteries.
Probably not. No. But are you saying that these batteries are being used in these vehicles, in these bikes?
In these bikes, these electric bikes, there's some $4,000, $5,000 bikes he's selling also.
Right.
And he's getting batteries from somewhere that he's using on these bikes.
Well, they're the right ones that the manufacturer, when you buy it new, put on there.
Okay.
But a lot of these guys I've talked to are buying extra batteries because they can only go so far. And these are like, suitcase small size batteries. They can just hook another one on and they double hook it.
Yep.
So they got two batteries.
Yeah, is that what he's doing? He's kind of upgrading the bikes to handle at least a couple of batteries at once?
Well, he tells people that's all you got to do is put a splitter on there. Yeah. And if you want to carry it on there, if you got a rack.
It's a good way to do it.
Put it on there. Yeah.
Yeah.
So some guys are going from Milwaukee to, way down by the lake all the way to Waukesha.
Wow. Okay. Is there a bike path that does that?
Really? There's ways, and I meet some of them on the bus.
Yeah.
I take the bus.
Yeah.
And I meet some of them with their bikes, and I'm always admiring, the different ones and the high-priced new ones and whatnot.
That's wild.
They've got hydraulic brakes on them. They got,
I know. I was looking at them. They're cool because they're really cool. I wish I had purchased one. But I don't know. I've got my new EV now, and I'm just I'm as happy as a lark. My space car. But Rick, thanks for that. It's really interesting stuff. And let's go to Mark right away and
Mark,
in the sack.
Yeah, Mark, we got about a minute and a little change.
Didn't I hear you guys talking about that the Chinese have some car where they swap out the batteries? You pull and you swap the battery out. They pull out the dead battery and plug in a new charged battery.
That's right. I thought it was a really great idea where, everybody would have the same size battery, and you just pull into a place and they just swap out the battery with a charged one and they would recharge the other one and pass it along to the next customer. Yeah.
That seems to make a whole lot of sense. And what you're saying about the AI sense, and, that like what I sent in yesterday is that, we're supposed to look at these AI data centers with awe and respect, and we will grow to love them.
Yeah.
Like we're supposed to grow to love Elon Musk.
Right.
That
the Colossus. Yeah.
The Colossus. He's the Colossus, and it's just like Cosmodius, that he's going to take care of it. So conquer us all.
Okay.
All right, Mark. Hey, thanks for the call.
Thanks for that.
Yeah, there are all these different ideas, roads that charge your batteries. You're driving over them. Amazing stuff.
We've got the Midwest Food and Farm Report. Then right after that, Mike McCabe will join us in the studio. It's John and Gordy in the afternoon.
Up and down this road. How, 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 how.
92.7 WMDX, a mad city state of mind. Our lakes are gorgeous. Just don't swim in them. 92.7 WMDX, keeping Madison honest, one broadcast at a time.
Corn and soybean farmers have been through a roller coaster of emotions this year with tariffs, prices going up, prices going down, a little bit of everything. I'm Ben Jarbo at the Midwest Farm Report, and even though it's been a roller coaster, there's a lot of optimism for those markets. John Heinberg, a market advisor with Total Farm Marketing, is here to give a look into why the new year is bringing on such strong optimism.
Soybean market's been beat up pretty good here the last couple of weeks. Did find maybe a little bit of a bottoming point yesterday. Saw the soybean meal market turn around yesterday, and it's also trading a little bit higher again today. So that's getting beans maybe a little bit of a bid, but not going to jump up and down about overnight trade at this time frame. On the corn side of the equation, again, we've just seen the demand start to pick up again. We've dropped ourselves in price. We're trading around that 440 area on the March contract this morning, and all of a sudden 3 days in a row or 3 trading sessions in a row, we've seen some export demand kick in. So those are some things that hopefully can help turn this market around and get us a little bit of a bid into the end of the year.
As John Heinberg says, hopefully the New Year's resolution for the corn and soybean markets is to go up. For the Midwest Farm Report, I'm Ben Jarbo, and we'll take a look at those closing markets right after this.
Did you know you can leverage crop insurance to benefit your bottom line? Ag Country Farm Credit Services can help. Choosing the right coverage for your goals can help maximize margins, strengthen your marketing strategy, and build a more resilient operation overall. As you plan for the season ahead, focus on more than just managing risk. Call 800-450-9858 to speak with one of our dedicated crop insurance officers. This institution is an equal opportunity provider and employer.
There goes Pam Yonke across Wisconsin in her suburban truck, thanks to Zimbrick Chevrolet, Dane County's #1 volume Chevy dealer with over 70 new Chevy trucks to choose from. Zimbrick Chevrolet East Madison, Sun Prairie, and ZimbrickChevrolet.com. Be sure to keep up with Pam and her travels at MidwestFarmReport.com and on Facebook at Midwest Farm Report, on Instagram at MWF Report, or by downloading the Midwest Farm Report app.
Welcome back, everybody. I'm Ben Jarbo joining you with the Midwest Farm Report. Now let's see how the markets closed on this Wednesday. A bit of a mix to end the day with cash corn up 4 cents at 440.5 and new crop corn up a penny at 460.5. Cash soybeans are down 4.5 at 1058.25, with new crop soybeans down 5.25 at 1075. March wheat is down 3.25 at 506.25, with July wheat down 2 cents at 527.75. Class 3 milk contracts for January are up 6 cents at 15.91 a hundredweight, and February contracts remain even at 15.65 a hundredweight. 40-pound blocks of cheese also remain even at 139.75, and butter closed up 1.5 at 146.75. For the Midwest Farm Report, I'm Ben Jarbo.
Your neighbors are talking. Leaders are deciding. Madison's story unfolds daily on 92.7 WMDX.
I'm meteorologist Rodney Price. A mix of clouds and sunshine as we head into the afternoon. South winds developing with highs in the mid-30s. More clouds tonight and rain will develop, and temperatures rising to near 40 by dawn. Increasing south winds up around 30 miles per hour. Right now it's 37.
I'm Rick Smith, host of The Rick Smith Show. If you're looking for honest talk, real stories, and straight-up news that matters to you, tune in to The Rick Smith Show. We're digging into the issues that affect your job, your family, your future. Join me weeknights at 9 on the Civic Media Radio Network, because your voice deserves to be heard. That's The Rick Smith Show, heard weeknights at 9 right here on the Civic Media Radio Network.
Pete Schwaba.
Very sad news about Rob Reiner. What do you think the highest rated Rob Reiner movie is, Con?
The Princess Bride?
No, it was number 2 at 96%.
96? Wow.
It's 96. Show me those 4% that did not like The Princess Bride, or the 2% who didn't like Spinal Tap. Although Spinal Tap was a mockumentary, I could see that could be maybe just not someone's cup of tea. But The Princess Bride?
They just don't like movies.
Exactly.
Nightlight with Pete Schwaba, weeknights from 5 to 8 p.m. on the Civic Media Radio Network.
Pete Schwaba. On the next Nightlight, I welcome Civic Media weatherman Mace Michaels, Madison Film.
such a bad little tree. It's not bad at all, really. Maybe it just needs a little love.
John and Gordy in the afternoon. Words of wisdom.
Charlie Brown is a blockhead, but he did get a nice tree.
I love Charlie Brown.
Yeah.
And Peanuts. I love that show.
Walking through the store,
Christmas.
They actually
And the
had
comic.
they had one of those trees, the Charlie Brown tree.
Did you get one?
No, I really wanted to get it though.
My mom did.
So miserable
Did
looking. It really is great, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. And we have, of course, a little blue blanket that we wrapped around the base.
Oh,
Yeah.
How cute.
Well, you can't really hang anything on it. There's not really much there.
Oh, no. You can hang the one red ornament on it. Any more than that, it starts to...
That's it.
If the blue blanket's on there.
That's right.
Exactly.
It's John and Gordy, along with our guest, who we have in just about every Wednesday, Mike McCabe. Good to see you, Mike.
Good to see you guys.
It's that time of year, and you wrote your latest Substack article. Mentions Charlie Brown and the Charlie Brown Christmas.
Just needs a little love.
Yeah, that's the title of the
that's
article.
What it is.
Just needs a little love.
Well, tell us what you were talking about in this article.
Well, just meaning of Christmas, and but it did lead me to into the thicket of the topic that you guys were just discussing in the previous half hour. AI and data centers and all of that. And just technology and its effects on us. And the thing about Christmas, regardless of how you think about the birth story of Jesus of Nazareth, whether you're a church goer or not, one of the things I wrote is that Christmas is worth celebrating because of what it does to us.
Yes.
Slows us down. It makes us step away from the material pursuits and the workaday worries, and it makes us more generous. I used to run a nonprofit organization. Over half of our operating revenue came in the last couple of months of the year, the holiday season.
Sure.
It's amazing how much more charitable giving is done in November and December than as opposed to the rest of the year, because people are just much more generous. They're more patient with one another. They're more kindly to each other. Christmas has a remarkable effect on us, and that's worth celebrating, regardless of whether you are have a religious persuasion or if you or if you're completely secular. It's still it has an undeniably remarkable effect.
Yeah. We have a text here. Do you mean it slows you down and makes you a non-material type person? Have you
a little bit more?
Have you been out there Christmas shopping, stressing over gifts at all? Yeah. Here's the thing. Maybe you don't buy for yourself. Unintentionally, you do anyway.
Yeah.
But you're really looking to get a gift for somebody else.
Correct.
And that's the spirit that you're talking about.
And how often do we spend our time thinking about what kind of gift we could give to somebody else, a loved one or a friend or family member or whoever, and so it does have a remarkable effect on us.
And there's more volunteering going on this time of year too.
Absolutely.
At
absolutely
kitchens and homeless centers.
Absolutely.
All of that.
Yeah.
It's
that
time of year.
What does it say about us as we go out and get gag gifts for everybody we love so dearly? What does
Maybe
it
your
say?
Is that what your family does?
It seems like that's the way everything has gone. I mean, because as adults we buy what we want, right? We already get everything that we want to buy. So we really don't have a list of things that we can give somebody and say, well, this is something I've been hoping to get real soon. It's usually very expensive.
Well, my Substack article started with, some thoughts about Charlie Brown, but it did lead me to, the conclusion of the article really is about how we are growing less connected.
Yes.
As a society, we are less connected to neighbors and to friends and even family members, and that's reflected in a lot of different ways, and technology has a lot to do with that. And then I embedded a clip.
Yeah,
that I understand that you guys.
We do
are prepared to play. That a University of North Carolina psychology professor hit the nail on the head. Said what I was thinking, so I decided to share that.
All right,
this is from 60 Minutes.
60 Minutes.
Yeah.
Let's listen.
From a scientific point of view, what do you see happening to this generation if we don't get kind of a grasp on all of this?
It's not an exaggeration to say that the essence of our species, of humanity, is our social relationships. Dare I say, it's the meaning of life. We are fundamentally changing life, our species, when we outsource our social relationships to bots and for profit. Those little interstitial moments that we have talking to someone behind a counter, having a connection with a human, that means something. That has an effect on our physical health, not to mention our happiness and our mental health and our, competence as parents and coworkers. We are at the brink of having more relationships with tech than with humans for the first time in the history of our species. This is the moment to say, wait, why are we doing something to make someone else a profit rather than doing something that will affect my own well-being and my family's and children's well-being? I'm not saying throw all the devices away. I'm not saying that this should be the end of tech. I'm talking about moderation, balance, and awareness, that we are doing something at the behest of folks who want to make a profit from our data. And it's time to flip that. Take control back. Vote with your fingertips. Put the device down. Set a limit. And reclaim what it means to be human.
Yeah.
That's it.
Very important to at least, create some balance. I think tech has been moving very quickly along here, and we've been all caught up in it without actually thinking about maybe setting some time limits on what we do with tech and what we do with our families.
And, reclaim what it means to be human. That's, to me, that's a theme that has taken on such great importance in the present moment. And all of this has moved so fast. I'm a parent of a 26-year-old son. So it was not very long ago that he was in elementary school and middle school, high school. He graduated from high school in 2018, not very long ago. I don't remember at any point during his upbringing, throughout all of his education, I don't remember a single teacher telling me that they were just at wit's end about all these doggone phones, that they couldn't get the kids off the phones. And, and my son started out school and he didn't have a smartphone. And he was in school, and not all the kids had smartphones, and the teachers didn't have so much trouble getting the kids away from their devices during learning time. So in this really brief period of time from when Casey finished high school in 2018 to the current moment, now you've got teachers who are just beside themselves. They don't know what to do with how technology is interfering with the educational process, and it's leading states to actually ban cell phones in classrooms. And Wisconsin has now passed a law that will phase in here in another year or so that requires every school district to have a plan for banning cell phones in the classroom. That wasn't even under discussion during the entire time my son was going to school. That's how fast all this is moving and how quickly it's changing our society and our world.
Yeah. Well, we got another point of view on this. It means less with school shootings, public shootings, can't buy a home, can't afford groceries. This guy in the video has no idea why people are connecting with tech. He comes across like a crazy boomer.
But wait a second, as Bernie Sanders was saying in that clip you played in the previous half hour, all of this is going to radically transform our economy and do away with a whole bunch of existing jobs. So if people think that somehow tech is going to be their economic savior, there's going to be an awful lot of people who will be dislocated from their their current professions, their current occupations, and how are they going to afford housing and food and everything then when they have no source of income, unless our society comes to grips with the effects of the billionaires using this technology to do away with human labor, and we find ways to create a supportive society.
Now, you're familiar with Mark out in Prairie du Sac, right?
Mark,
one of our regular callers.
One of our regular callers, and he has, I'd like Mark to actually call up about your what you're saying here. He says Mike is saying, or paraphrasing, Scrooge's nephew's speech to him. So it must be where his nephew visited him at the office, and they had that little back and forth.
Yeah.
So it must be that speech. I don't have it here in front of me. There is also this that in teacher forums, they're not so much angry with the phone use as they are with the parents not teaching the kids not to use the phone so often. I've said that before, though. I think a lot of parents, bad parents, are, foisting a lot of the responsibilities off onto the schools and the teachers, where they should actually be trying to control some of this stuff instead of blaming teachers and the school regulations for it.
Well, but that whole 60-minute segment, that clip was drawn from, that's a very brief part of the interview with that particular North Carolina University professor. But they also did it in interviews with parents who were talking about how their children were using ChatGPT for counseling. For
oh my gosh,
for
really?
like companionship or friendship.
Yeah.
And they were, and some of the parents were recounting how ChatGPT was telling their kids that all of their, the anguish that they were expressing was all justified, and that your parents don't understand you. And and ChatGPT actually said to one of these parents' kids, your parents don't love you.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so and the kids are sort of turning on the device, and they're turning to ChatGPT and sort of venting about their problems and asking for advice, and they're taking advice from a bot that is doing what it's doing, not for the well-being of the child, but rather simply for child engagement. They're not the device isn't interested in child well-being. It's interested in child engagement. Just keep the kid online.
Right.
Keep the kid trapped.
Yeah.
And tell the kid whatever the kid wants to hear.
Yeah.
That works at cross purposes, what actual parenting is all about.
Well, that's
not
pretty,
helpful.
Pretty outrageous of AI to suggest something like that.
And that it's worth going back and finding that entire 60-minute segment if you haven't seen it. It's it's the episode that started out with an interview with Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Okay.
It moved on to a segment all about AI and its effects.
Yeah, it's really good.
Definitely will be
really
watching
eye-opening.
All right.
Yeah. A couple of weeks ago.
We're going to be back with Mike McCabe. We've got our phones back up and running, so if you want to jump in, 855-752-4842. Back with more of John and Gordy in a moment.
"77 square miles surrounded by reality, and we cover all of it." This is 92.7 WMDX Madison and on the Civic Media app.
CVS Health supports people in the moments that matter, from picking up a prescription to connecting care. With nearly 5 million daily interactions and serving 185 million consumers and 1.5 million healthcare professionals, CVS Health holds a trusted place in healthcare. By simplifying care and improving health, we're helping people get the care they need. Learn more at cvshealth.com/investor day.
I'm hungry. What's cooking?
Oh, no, not me. It's your turn.
Oh, we're back to taking turns?
Yes.
Well, how about Sugar River Pizza?
Oh, yeah. Now they can cook.
I could really go for some of that 12-hour smoked pulled pork.
Ooh, and some pasta. Okay, now I'm hungry. Sugar River, here we come.
And they have that great kids menu, too.
We don't have any kids.
Right. That's beside the point. The point is, I'm hungry. You're hungry.
Let's go.
Yes. And we should talk about having some kids.
Get in the car, Bob. Sugar River, Sun Prairie, Verona, New Glarus, and catering.
Herbal Aspect has landed. That's right. Madison's go-to cannabis destination now has a brand new location in Sun Prairie.
Wait, 4 locations? That's a high level of convenience.
With 3 Madison locations and now Sun Prairie, a great cannabis experience is always close by. Our expert staff is here to help, whether you walk in, call, or order online. Mention Radio 420 and get a special discount. So stop by Herbal Aspect in Sun Prairie, because great cannabis isn't just a pipe dream.
Nice. I'm rolling over now.
Herbal Aspect.
As the season of celebration begins, David J. Frank Landscape extends heartfelt thanks to their clients, their community, and everyone who made 2025 a year of growth. While the snow falls, the David J. Frank team remains hard at work, keeping properties safe and beautiful all winter long, and designing next spring's dream yards. From their family to yours, happy holidays. From David J. Frank, Wisconsin's trusted landscape partner since 1959. Visit davidjfrank.com to start planning your 2026 landscape today.
You've noticed a change in your teen. They seem distant, and you wonder if it's the usual ups and downs or something deeper, like substance use or mental health struggles. If you're worried, why wait to reach out? Hazelden Betty Ford offers specialized care for teens and young adults, plus support for families. Call 1-855-489-2383 or visit wegotyou.org, because love doesn't wait for a crisis, and change starts when you do. Sponsored by Hazelden Betty Ford Foundation.
Reading aloud to children sharpens their listening skills, expands their vocabularies, and nurtures a lifelong love of reading. That's why Reading is Fundamental, the nation's leading children's literacy nonprofit, offers free monthly read-alouds by popular authors.
I have spent all my years in believing you, but I just can't get no relief. Lord, somebody, ooh, somebody, can anybody find me? Somebody to love.
You might want to check Chat GPT. All right. Anyway, let's go to the phones right away. This is John and Gordy in the afternoon. Go to Kurt here. What do you got for us, Kurt?
Yeah, I worked in a software validation lab for years at Motorola.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things I know that any cellular company can do, if they choose to do so, is they go to any cell phone manufacturer and saying, we want this feature installed on our phones, or a phone that's dedicated that has the feature in it. And that feature would be basically controlling what the user has access to. So it doesn't block them from launching a browser and doing a search, but if they try to do a search on certain keywords, it would shut them out. And not only that, you could have it so it sends alert to the parent. So, I hate to be big brother over kids, but let's just face the facts. This stuff wasn't present when I was a kid. And we did a lot of extracurricular activities to keep ourselves occupied. And now these kids, like you pointed out, using ChatGPT and says, your parents don't love you. So parents, go start contacting your cellular provider and say, we want this product.
Mm-hmm.
It could happen.
Yeah. Good idea.
Kurt, thanks for that.
Yeah. I want to tell my story, though. I was told by an insurance company, not mine, but my parents were told by an insurance company that I should leave the house because I'm going to raise their rates on their car insurance. They told I should move out. So that's before chat, but still, it's a third party giving their advice. Let's go to Susan now from McFarland. What do you got for us, Susan?
Hi. I'm thinking about this. I would argue also this starts back with when we no longer let our kids be free range and hang out with friends, and everybody had to be in sports that were organized by the parents so they knew where their kids are. I think we lose a lot when you don't allow your children to explore as they're growing up and develop their own friendships, because then, when they're denied that ability and then they just turn to their phone because it's much easier to get on your phone and find things that you want instead of being out there with your friends.
Yeah.
So I'm a big proponent of free range children, and I feel as though they grow a lot by having to bike places during the sun, the weather, going to their friend's house, all those things. And there's Life 360 that you can put on their phone, so you know exactly where they are.
Oh yeah.
Because you know where they are, so you don't have to check in on them. But I think a lot of it is that kids are no longer allowed to just be kids.
Yeah.
And also, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Keep going.
And I was just saying that during COVID, of course, that put a big kibosh on a lot of that social interactions.
Yep.
So for some of the groups of kids where they were at the perfect age where they would be forming those developmental friendships, so they weren't able to do that. So it could be some of that. But I do feel as though we're hamstringing our kids by not allowing them just to be kids.
Yep.
Right.
Free range kids. I like it, Susan.
Good point, Susan.
Yeah.
Thank you.
In the old days, we
did
used to have neighborhoods where you had friends in your neighborhood.
Yeah, I grew up on the farm, so we had free range cattle and we had free range chickens, and yes, we were free range kids
There
too.
you go. All right, let's go to Mark now. Mark, do you have that quote from Christmas Carol?
Yeah, he started out, talking about it being Christmas being a sacred time, but he goes, but apart from that, he goes, as a good time, a kind, forgiving, charitable, pleasant time, the only time I know of in the long calendar of the year when men and women seem by one consent to open up their shut up hearts freely, to think of people below them as if they are real fellow passengers to the grave, not another race of creatures bound on other journeys. And therefore, Uncle, there has never put a scrap of gold or silver in my pocket. I believe it has done me good and will do me good, and I say God bless it.
Wow. Yeah. I get goosebumps when I hear quotes out of a Christmas Carol.
Nothing like Charles Dickens.
Really? Nothing like it.
All right, Mark.
Mark, thanks for that. I appreciate
we got
you
one
looking
more
that
call.
up.
I think we can sneak in.
Dolores?
Dolores from Madison. Go ahead.
Oh, hi there. Thank you for taking my call.
Sure.
Yeah, I was going to mention, I am a Generation X, so I didn't grow up with a phone or a computer or anything like that, but I can see the difference in my kids. I have an older kids and a younger kids, and I can see, like, my 29-year-old. I mean, she's even high anxiety to even talk to someone, like, over the phone, just to make a phone call.
Wow.
And I said, why? It's just because I prefer text, I prefer emails. I don't want to talk to anyone, so it's just like sad. And also, I'm just so sad when I see, I understand, I understand you being a mom or, being so caught up, trying to juggle a lot of things.
Yeah.
And I see those little kids, like a year old, like glued to the tablets and glued to the phone.
Yeah.
And then as soon as the parents have to take off the iPad or the phone, they just make this big tantrum because we are raising this generation of kids growing up with some kind of device glued to their hands.
Yeah.
And it's just sad, that we are the ones doing this to our generation.
That's true.
So it's very sad.
Yeah, and when I was a kid, we had transistor radios and same complaints.
Right? Yes. That was a long time ago.
Yeah. Well, Dolores, thank you.
Yeah, Dolores, we appreciate that call. Mike, we got to leave it there.
Yeah. Any final words on this?
Final thoughts for the holidays?
Well, enjoy the season.
There you go.
Happy holidays, and
we'll talk to you in a couple of weeks.
Or see you in the new year.
Yeah,
absolutely.
We appreciate you.
Great having
being here. Coming up in our next hour, we'll check in with George Cheng. He's co-founder of Code 4, talking more about AI. And also, we'll get the latest on the Judge Hannah Dugan trial with Mario Cora. Yep. It's all coming up on John and Gordy. Stay right where you are. The Civic Media Radio Network.
The most wonderful time. Oh, the most wonderful time of the year.
This is 92.7 WMDX Columbus, Madison's real news and great conversation. A Civic Media station. WMDXradio.com.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. Authorities in Rhode Island still searching for a person of interest in the Brown University shooting, shown on enhanced surveillance video walking the neighborhood before the attacks. Law enforcement today releasing an image of a second individual they say they'd like to talk to, Providence Police Chief Colonel Oscar Perez.
I want to be clear that this is a person that we would like to speak with. We truly believe, based on the video footage that we have been watching for a few days, they may have relevant information to the investigation.
2 students were killed, 9 others injured in Saturday's mass shooting. In Los Angeles, Nick Reiner made his first court appearance today, facing murder charges in the deaths of his parents, director Rob Reiner and Michelle Singer. He waived his right to a speedy arraignment until January 7th hearing. The Academy of Motion Pictures, Arts and Sciences announcing the Academy Awards ceremony will move to streaming on YouTube starting in 2029. The Oscars will continue to broadcast on ABC until 2028. This is ABC News.
From the Capitol to your kitchen table, Madison's biggest stories live right here on 92.7 WMDX.
For 92.7 WMDX News, I'm Savannah Tomei Olson. One of Dane County's biggest employers is accused of being a monopoly. Epic Systems makes medical record software. They have more than 9,000 employees in Verona. As part of the Obama administration's changes to healthcare, there were huge incentives for provider companies to digitize medical records. And Epic was ready to provide that service and saw a huge boom. The company has been around for more than 4 decades. It's privately owned and led by founder and CEO Judy Faulkner. Now, the state of Texas is suing Epic, saying it's a monopoly based on its sheer domination of the market, and saying the company violates Texas business laws. And the trial for Milwaukee County Judge Hannah Dugan continues today. Here's Stuart J. Waddles.
Prosecutors and defense attorneys are trying to tell different stories about what happened when federal agents tried to arrest an undocumented man outside Judge Hannah Dugan's Milwaukee County courtroom. The trial resumes today. ICE agents testified yesterday Dugan confronted them in the hallway, questioned their warrant, and ordered them to the chief judge's office before Eduardo Flores Ruiz slipped out of a back door and ran from the courthouse. Dugan's lawyers said she was following new courthouse policies and was worried about safety. Jurors were shown surveillance video from multiple angles. The case centers on whether Dugan knowingly helped the defendant evade arrest or was acting within her authority to manage her courtroom.
And Madison's women's soccer team now has a name. Big Top Events, the company that owns Forward Madison, the Mallards, and the Nightmares, is launching a women's team. The company accepted about 1,000 submissions for a name, and they chose Rally Madison. The logo shows the face of Wisconsin, the statue on top of the state capitol. The team will be based at Breeze Stevens Field, and their first match is in May. I'm Savannah Tomei Olson, 92.7 WMDX News.
The Packers trying to think positive. Hi, I'm Mike Clemens with Sports NFL. The Packers play the Bears in Chicago Saturday night with a chance to get back into first place in their division. They do it with several players injured and Micah Parsons done for the season after a loss in Denver. I asked Packers linebacker Edgerrin Cooper on the challenge to stay positive this week.
You gotta use the momentum you have. You just gotta go from there. We just gotta get in the treatment room. Everybody gotta get healed up as fast as they could and go from there.
NBA, the Bucks at home tomorrow night against the Raptors. At 11 wins and 16 losses, the Bucks still 5 games below 500 after being embarrassed by the struggling Nets in Brooklyn. The Bucks' Kyle Kuzma.
There's 45 points to a team that's trying to lose. They got 4 wins, 5 wins, whatever it is now. No disrespect at all, because that's the beauty of this league, right? There's so much talent, and if you're not ready, you can get your butt whooped by any team, right? We are proof of that.
That's Bucks forward Kyle Kuzma with Sports on Mike Clemens.
Local news, real voices, and conversations that count. That's Madison. And that's 92.7 WMDX.
I'm meteorologist Rodney Price. A mix of clouds and sunshine as we head into the afternoon. South winds developing with highs in the mid-30s. More clouds tonight and rain will develop and temperatures rising to near 40 by dawn. Increasing south winds up around 30 miles per hour. Right now it's 37.
Oh, this is Robert Pilot of Native Roots Radio. On our show, we share stories from Turtle Island, highlighting the people and issues shaping our communities. From protecting water to treaty rights and preserving languages and traditions, we cover it all. Hear voices like Arvina Martin of Emerge, Wisconsin, Dr. Stately, Robert Lilligren, and more. Because Native issues are human issues, and human issues are Native issues.
Native Roots Radio, weeknights at 8 on your local Civic Media radio station.
Join me, Tom Hartman, each and every weekday from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. for the Tom Hartman program right here on Civic Media. I talk about the issues that all Wisconsinites can get behind, from unrigging our economy so it works for all of us, not just the billionaire class, to improving our representative government, to delivering on the promise of we the people. Tune in middays right here on your local Civic Media station from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. for the Tom Hartman program. Tag, you're it.
Pete Schwaba on the next Nightlight. I welcome Civic Media weatherman.
John and Gordy in the afternoon.
All right, let him have it.
How lucky can one guy be? I kissed her and she kissed me. Like the fella once said, ain't that a kick in the head? The room was completely black. I hugged her and she hugged back. Like the sailor said, quote, ain't that a hole in the boat? My head keeps spinning.
John and Gordy.
I go to sleep and keep grinning.
A lot of good calls today.
Yes.
When the phones are working.
Yep, we got the phones back.
Yeah.
855-752-4842, and you can always text us on the Civic Media app. Yeah. Coming up in about a half hour, we're going to talk to George Cheng, who's co-founder of Code 4, about AI.
Mm-hmm.
And also we're going to be checking in on the Hannah Dugan trial of Mario Koren. We'll be giving us a report in a little while here.
Hope we learn a little bit more about AI here on the program.
Yeah. Seems to come up just about every day now.
I've got Gen Z guys that aren't really interested in it.
They don't like it.
No, I keep telling them, get to know it, become really good at it.
Right.
And at least you have that under your belt in case somebody needs your help.
Yeah.
So I don't know. What do you
think, Aaron? Are you on?
Yeah, I mean, you're a Gen Z guy. You're the same age as my sons. What do you think?
I'm kind of two minds about it. I don't do a ton with AI myself yet. I really should, though. I think it is an extremely useful tool. There's a lot of good that can come from it. I think the government needs to regulate some of it before people like Elon, consume half the planet in a burning flame just to make Grok a little smarter.
Colossus.
Colossus. I'm sorry. But and I also, my other concern is about, there's the environmental impact. There's also the ethics of generative AI, which
yes,
it plagiarizes a lot of content.
Yeah.
And I think there's got to be some way to make that work where people can opt out of having their work used or something like that. I don't know.
Well, and my wife is a writer, and she's being threatened by all the books that are being written via AI. And
right.
and there are courses out there. There are people training other people to write books via AI, hardly putting anything into it, relying on it. And then they sell the books and crowd the market. And my wife's book somehow kind of disappear within there.
The problem is that a lot of people don't seem to read close enough or look close enough to realize this is AI. There's no actual human soul behind this art, whether it's written or visual or whatever. And people don't see it for long enough that they can sell it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's crazy stuff.
It is. And we continue to follow it.
But, it can be used against us. I'm going to talk about Edward Snowden here.
Oh, really? Well, he hasn't been in the news lately.
No, he hasn't, but he's out there now. He warns that the infrastructure for a Chinese-style social credit system is being built in plain sight.
Oh, no.
A social credit system.
Social credit.
The system built for government control over how we use social media.
Okay.
So I'll tell you what, why don't we check this out? This is Snowden, a statement from him at cut 128. Let's listen to what he has to say.
What about the public attitude held by millions of everyday Americans? All I've got on a computer is pictures of my family, CCTV cameras that are prevalent in a ton of American cities and overseas capitals. Those cameras are your friend if you're innocent and have nothing to hide.
Well, I'd say that's very much what the average Chinese citizen believed, or perhaps even still to this day believes. But we see how these same technologies are being applied to create what they call the social credit system. If any of these family photos, if any of your activities online, if your purchases, if your associations, if your friends are in any way different from what the government or the powers that be of the moment would like them to be, you're no longer able to purchase train tickets. You're no longer able to board an airplane. You may not be able to get a passport. You may not be eligible for a job. You might not be able to work for the government. All of these things are increasingly being created and programmed and decided by algorithms. And those algorithms are fueled by precisely the innocent data that our devices are creating all of the time, constantly, invisibly, quietly, right now. Our devices are casting all of these records that we do not see being created, that in aggregate seem very innocent. Even if you can't see the content of these communications, the activity records, what the government calls metadata, which they argue they do not need a warrant to collect, tells the whole story. And these activity records are being created and shared and collected and intercepted constantly by companies and governments. And ultimately, it means as they sell these, as they trade these, as they make their businesses on the backs of these records, what they are selling is not information. What they're selling is us. Mm-hmm. They're selling our future. They're selling our past. They are selling our history, our identity, and ultimately, they are stealing our power.
That's kind of scary stuff.
Kind of,
here.
yeah.
And that was many years ago. I think that was 4 or 5 years ago.
And I remember when social credit points first, like when we first found out about that here in America, that they were doing that in China. And my friends and I would joke all the time. We were like, that is so incredibly stupid and dystopian. There's no way it could ever happen here.
Mm-hmm. Well, yes, I know. Mm-hmm. The IMF, the International Monetary Fund, wants to use our online browsing history to set our social credit score, 86ing the current system of determining your credit score. Let's listen to cut 129 and be very afraid.
The International Monetary Fund is reportedly lobbying to use individuals' online web histories to set your credit score.
They help us buy homes, go to college, and start businesses. But in a new working paper published by the International Monetary Fund, they have decided that the way to move forward on these all-important scores is not like they have in the past. They want to change the credit rating system from how it is now. Paying your bills on time, paying on debt, keeping balances low, etc. We all know it. The IMF wants to get their buddies at big tech in on the action. According to Gizmodo, the researchers want to use the data from your browsing, search, and purchase history to create a more accurate mechanism for determining the credit rating of an individual. The IMF believes that they should have a, quote, a more intimate relationship with the potential client through their online data. Imagine going to your bank to take out a mortgage for a couple paying for their first home. And the account manager is able to know your political beliefs, your religious beliefs, your most recent purchases online, even your random internet search history. And don't think the incognito browser is going to save you. All of this represents a bigger and much more powerful reach of these institutions into the lives of the consumer, the American people. Now, some lawmakers of both parties have discussed an Internet Bill of Rights that would include free speech protections as well as ownership rights of your data, your digital imprint form in online usage, so that the heads of Facebook and Google can't just sell your info on the open market to the highest bidder. Maybe it's time for those lawmakers to talk to the IMF.
I'm with that.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, we should have a Bill of Rights, Internet Bill of Rights.
I feel like if this becomes a thing, if you Google, how do I check my social credit score, your credit score is going to go down.
Mm-hmm.
Because, it's just, I hate this kind of thing.
I know. I got another cut here. This is Larry Ellison, whose son David wanted to buy Warner and CNN, and he wonders of AI surveillance on all of us. Let's listen to that.
Citizens will be on their best behavior because we're constantly recording and reporting everything that's going on, and it's unimpeachable. The cars have cameras on them. I think we have a squad car here someplace, but those kind of applications using AI, if we can use AI, and we're using AI to monitor the video. So if that altercation that occurred in Memphis, the chief of police would be immediately notified. It's not people that are looking at those cameras. It's AI that's looking at the camera. No. You can't do this. It would be like a shooting. That's going to be an event that's immediately, an alarm is going to go off. It's going to be, and we're going to have supervision. In other words, every police officer is going to be supervised. Wow. At all times, and the supervision will, and if there's a problem, AI will report the problem and report it to the appropriate person, whether it's the sheriff or the chief or whomever we need to take control of the situation. We have, same thing. We have drones. If there's something going on in a shopping center, and I'll stop. A drone goes out there, get there way faster than a police car. There's no reason for, by the way, high-speed chases. You shouldn't have high-speed chases between cars. You just have a drone follow the car. I mean, it's very, very simple. There you go. And the new generation of autonomous drones.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting stuff. But now let's go to something called the Davos Reset. Well, let's listen to this here.
We have to prepare for a more angry world. And how to prepare? It means to take the necessary action. What we want to do in Davos this year in this respect is to push the reset button.
History would look at this crisis as the great opportunity for reset.
The next time someone tells us that tackling climate change is either too costly or too difficult, I think we need to remind them and remind ourselves of what just is happening right now.
Imperative that we reimagine, rebuild, redesign, reinvigorate, and rebalance our world.
We not only have to demand change, but also create change.
And then we need to couple that with new initiatives to equip more people with the digital skills they'll need, not just to have a tech job, but a job that is increasingly tech-enabled in almost every part of the economy.
I don't know if I trust Davos to set the standard and have us reset.
Right.
Forget that. We also got this here. Some companies are piloting dynamic pricing. So when you enter the store, things and prices will be different according to or your assumed income. And they're doing that online. Yeah.
So it'll change for people that are walking through the store?
No, it changes based on your record, your history.
Okay.
So it's like, you spent $150 on a pair of pants. Well, this next pair of pants you buy, well, let's make it $200.
Right, exactly.
Because you've shown you'll spend that much.
It's not going to be in the store. The prices won't change in front of your very eyes as you're cruising the store aisles.
Everyone needs AI glasses, and they show you the prices right in front of your eyes.
There you go.
Oh my God!
But this does concern a lot of people shopping online.
Sure, online shopping. So much. Okay, 19 minutes past the hour. We're back with more of John and Gordy. We'll check in with Mario Cora next on the Hannah Dugan trial. Stay with us.
Somebody's watching me. Who's playing tricks on me?
92.7 WMDX in Mad City. More lakes, more cheese, more fun.
At Allure Intimate Apparel, fit is everything. Not just how something feels, but how it makes you feel. Bras, sleepwear, swim, and intimates, Allure has it all. Their industry professionals and trained fit specialists deliver a discreet, graceful experience that honors every figure. It's style without compromise, elegance without effort. Allure is thoughtfully expanding. Come visit their brand new Hilldale Shopping Center location, where women will discover how fit and confidence go hand in hand. Visit allurefits.com.
Hey, Gordy, I got to admit, these hearing aids from Madison Hearing Aid Center changed my life.
Mine too, John. I thought I needed subtitles to talk to my grandkids.
And these aren't those old giant clunkers we saw in the old days. It's got Bluetooth, it's rechargeable, the works.
Yeah, my phone connects straight to my ears. I'm basically a cyborg now.
Hey, you just figured out texting last year, too.
Yeah, baby steps. But I did call Madison Hearing Aid Center, and you should too. 608-249-4077.
608-249-4077. Tell them John and Gordy sent you.
My name's John Driscoll, proud member of the Patriotic Millionaires. When I was CEO at CareCentrix, I doubled entry-level wages. The impact? Productivity went up, turnover went down, and the company was successful. When employees are off the clock, they're real consumers, the consumers that drive the economy with their spending. By paying employees a fair wage, we're actually helping out all of us in giving our economy the best chance to succeed. I'm John Driscoll. I'm a patriotic millionaire, and I approve this message.
When a warrior faces adversity, he fights through it. He finds a way. Freedom isn't free. Rolling strong. Belief. Believe you can and you will.
Wheelchairs for Warriors provides mobility solutions to veterans and first responders injured in the line of duty. Join the mission and visit wheelchairsforwarriors.org.
The Elder Care Locator is here to help you live your best life as you age at home. Our call center advisors are ready to connect you with trustworthy local experts. Help is just a phone call away at 1-800-677-1116.
Catch Farm Report updates throughout the day from the Midwest Farm Report.
We're with you in the afternoon here on the Civic Media Radio Network.
Mm-hmm. And it is day 3 of the Milwaukee County Circuit Judge Hannah Dugan trial in Milwaukee, and she's been charged with obstructing immigration agents when they attempted to arrest an undocumented defendant, Eduardo Florio Ruiz. That was on April 18th of 2025. We've got Civic Media correspondent Mario Coran on the line here. He's covering the trial for us this week.
Yeah.
Mario, what can you tell us about what happened here on day 3?
Yeah, so today on day 3, we really kind of we really dealt with the evidence that's really at the heart of the case. We heard from Chief Judge Ashley, which is important and interesting for 2 reasons. Today, we really sort of unpacked what happened on that morning, kind of on a minute-by-minute basis. So we got a very clear picture of kind of what transpired through, the people, the witnesses who were there. So Chief Judge Ashley was important because his testimony was important and interesting because we heard him say at least 2 things. All right, we heard him express skepticism that judicial authority allowed judges to intervene with agents in the public hallway. The hallway is seen as a public space, and federal authorities who were there to arrest this man were not planning to arrest him in the courthouse. They said they were planning to arrest him in that public space. So he basically he opined that judicial authority did not extend there. But we also heard him say that he believed federal agents coming into a courtroom to make arrest would have a chilling effect on the legal process, and he believed it would lead to an erosion of trust in the judicial system. So those are really 2 sides of both arguments in this case.
So Okay. Didn't all of this happen in the hallway in the public space then? I thought it happened in a private hallway.
Well, it sort of played out in both. So there was Judge Dugan, who was talking to agents in the hallway, but she also directed Luis Flores to a private hallway through a private door, which gave him sort of access to this corridor that basically allowed him to walk outside. And so that is really at the heart of the argument from prosecutors, that she really sort of facilitated his escape by showing that sort of intent to allow him to evade authorities.
So Mario, so back to this, the chief judge, Carl Ashley. I'm reading your article here from that's on civicmedia.us or .us news, and apparently the judge, the chief judge, had not really formalized this policy about how to handle a situation like this. Is that right?
Correct. Yeah, and that's another interesting point that came up today. Thanks for pointing that out. Yes, at that time, by that morning, he had not sort of formalized any sort of clear guidance on how judges were supposed to handle federal agents in their courtroom. So really, we get this scene of people sort of like judges and clerks sort of circling around, trying to figure out what to do, looking for Chief Justice to weigh in, and he wasn't there at that time. So yeah, we had this sort of chaotic feel of those moments in that morning.
Is it just as chaotic in the courtroom as well?
Yeah. What's the mood?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I won't say that it's chaotic. The first day was probably a little bit more energy, more intense, but it's never been, unruly or wild. But you can definitely feel a sort of palpable tension in the air. I mean, one important consideration is that people, you get the feel through these testimonies as they stack up. You get the feel of the tension that was there, that morning. But the other thing to remember is that many of these witnesses are people that work together. They are people who know each other and going to have to see each other the next day. So you can feel sort of that vibe, that tension as it is coming down these testimonies.
Now, Mario, was there? I know on the first day there were protesters outside. How about on this? Yesterday and today, have there been a number of protesters outside the courtroom?
There have been, few. There haven't been as many. Obviously, the first day there was a press conference, which really kind of harnessed the energy and brought people and protesters there. But there have been people out with signs and sort of expressing their support. Many for Judge Dugan, but it hasn't been nearly as organized as that first day.
Now, anything else you want to add, or anything expected tomorrow?
Well, tomorrow, so basically we had the government, the prosecution really wrap up its case this afternoon.
Okay.
And so tomorrow we're going to, really get the full feel of the defense's argument. And, it's expected to kind of wrap up, by the end of the week.
Well, very good, Mario.
Well, this is a tense situation.
Yeah. Appreciate you checking in, and we'll hopefully talk to you sometime tomorrow or on Friday. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
All right.
Very
Thank you.
All right. That's Mario.
And a lot of
Coran.
people are watching this. This is the thing is, it's like trying to control the judges now.
Yeah.
Telling them what they can or cannot do, putting fear into them.
Yeah.
To wonder what they can or cannot do. Again, it's so strange.
Yeah.
And that's what's happening now in the entire country, basically.
And you can read Mario's article on civicmedia.us/news. And it's entitled Dugan Trial Marches On, and we'll continue to follow it as it does that. Okay, 29 minutes past the hour, and right around the corner when we come back, we'll be checking in with George Cheng. He's the co-founder of Code 4. Find out how AI is reducing workload for the police in Amory, Wisconsin. That's coming up next on John and Gordy in the afternoon.
WMDX Madison. Come for the cheese. Stay because your car won't start. Your neighbors are talking. Leaders are deciding. Madison's story unfolds daily on 92.7 WMDX.
For 92.7 WMDX News, I'm Savannah Tomei Olson. Today marks 1 year since the shooting at Abundant Life Christian School. The tragedy left a mark on all of Madison. 14-year-old Ruby Vergara and 42-year-old Aaron West were killed. 6 others were shot. Many were released from the hospital soon after. One student stayed in the hospital for about 6 weeks, and another, Sammy Garduno Martinez, spent about 9 months at American Family Children's Hospital. He was shot at least 4 times. There was a big celebration at the hospital in October as Sammy was discharged and sent to a specialty rehab in Illinois. Abundant Life Principal Jennifer Ray knows today is difficult for their whole community.
Each individual has a journey, and we continue to press into that journey of trauma and healing. We know it's an individual basis, and we, as a team, we lean into each individual need, and we press into what we value instead of avoiding what is hard. God comforts us so that we can comfort other people. And we're grateful for others that have come alongside us to comfort us.
Former Principal Doug Butler got emotional as he talked about all the people who sent messages, prayers, and donations.
We also reflect on the tremendous outpouring of support that we received, not just from our church community, but from Madison and Dane County, around the state, and even across the nation and the world. We were well loved and cared for.
The shooter died by suicide. Her father has been charged with 3 felonies for allegedly allowing his daughter to access guns. According to the most recent court records, his lawyers were trying to get the case against him dismissed. The Abundant Life tragedy is the most deadly school shooting in Wisconsin history. I'm Savannah Tomei Olson, 92.7 WMDX News.
On your entertainment beat, I'm Pete Schwaba. Dick Van Dyke turned 100 last weekend, and it's been fun reading stories of people who worked with him over the last century. Of his co-stars, Charlie Schlatter teamed up with Van Dyke on the show Diagnosis Murder. Despite having a name that sounds like a parody of an actual show, the procedural ran for 8 years. Schlatter, whose other credits include the Ferris Bueller TV show, and Kick Buttkowski, played Dr. Travis Scott opposite Van Dyke. Schlatter says there weren't really any cell phones back then, so people weren't snapping pictures all the time, and as a result, he only has like 2 pictures of him with the Hollywood legend. Schlatter, who is 5 feet 4 inches tall, also credits Van Dyke for getting him cast as Dr. Scott, saying Van Dyke thought it would be funny if they had a Michael J. Fox type, despite the character description in the script as being 6 feet 4. Schlatter says he's always been grateful to Van Dyke for going to bat for him and landing the role, and even calls his home the house that Dick built, which could probably be said by a few adult film stars. For more showbiz fun, tune in to Nightlight with me, Pete Schwaba, weeknights from 6 to 8 p.m. on the Civic Media Radio Network.
Construction barrels bloom every spring. So do opinions. WMDX, guiding Madison through life's most predictable surprises.
I'm meteorologist Rodney Price. A mix of clouds and sunshine as we head into the afternoon. South winds developing with highs in the mid-30s. More clouds tonight and rain will develop, and temperatures rising to near 40 by dawn. Increasing south winds up around 30 miles per hour. Right now it's 37.
Pete Schwaba. A mom popped into elementary school to deliver some paperwork, leaving her 10-year-old son in the car outside. They found the car in the garage and the child in the house with the dad. He had an argument with his mom and decided to drive himself home. Officers declined to charge the boy because he's too young to be held criminally responsible. Put that kid in juvie, baby.
Don't worry, officer. We're going to ground him.
Nightlight with Pete Schwaba, weeknights from 5 to 8 p.m. on the Civic Media Radio Network.
You're a storyteller, negotiator, artist, innovator. Whatever your passion, whatever your skills, behind the scenes or in front, you belong here. A career in broadcast media. Local radio and TV stations in every town and city need someone like you. So
News with John and Gordy on the Civic Media Radio Network. Hope you're being entertained by the AI discussion that we're having here today.
It seems to crop up just about every day now.
It does now. Yeah, it really does.
Phone lines are open, 855-752-4842.
Wait, I think the phone lines are down again.
What?
I think they must be down by...
What?
Oh,
what
wait.
are you saying?
CJ is up there. Let's see if he's broken through the...
through the phone? Let's see.
Here, let's see.
Hey,
if the
CJ,
lines
are you there?
down. CJ, are you there?
Yeah.
I guess. Oh, he is.
It
there.
is working. Okay.
I'm there.
You are here.
Lucky you, huh?
Hey. Yeah.
Hey there, gentlemen. Thank you for taking my call.
Mm-hmm.
This is just a prime example how the Democrat Party and the activist judges across the country don't want to enforce the law.
You mean the Democratic? Democratic.
Okay, Democratic
Yes,
Party,
okay.
I guess.
Mhm.
But
Yes.
the Democrats.
Yes.
Your leadership, judges.
Wait a minute.
and
Did you just say? Did you just call Hannah Dugan a Democratic judge? Is that?
I don't care what she is.
Is that
she
bad?
Broke the
Is that
law
bad?
And is facing a felony charge.
Yeah. So.
And do you think she should be charged?
Well,
for obstruction.
we're letting the law work its way through the system. That's
Right.
all.
We don't know yet whether or not she's
Right.
broken the law because
Exactly.
it's a gray area.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, well.
That's why we have
prosecutors,
courts.
The federal judge, the federal courts seem to think they are, because as soon as, and a matter of fact, there's another judge who feels abandoned by Dugan because she motioned to her, "Hey, ICE is here. We got to find out if they have a warrant," because they were arresting someone who broke the law, right? You guys.
Well, they were in court
So which
in regards
laws
to
do you
breaking the
want to
law.
enforce
So,
and which ones don't you?
do you think that maybe the individual in that courtroom was there because of the law being broken, and that the judge was there to help that situation along and make a decision on that? Or is it more something you just put somebody out in the hallway and haul them off in a car and then disappear them? Is that a better form of justice? Is that the kind you like? You want to see on a regular basis in this country? Huh? Is that what you want?
Which laws are you guys wanting to enforce? Because
when somebody's in a courtroom and they're in front of a judge, I don't think they should be hauled out and put in a vehicle someplace and taken away. I don't think
they're already going through the justice
system.
system.
They're already going through the justice system. So what is it, CJ? What kind of system of law are you looking at in this country? What do you want to see?
What do I want to see?
Yeah, what do you want to see?
Not judges picking and choosing. That person that you're speaking of did not go through a port of entry. They broke the law. And
you just want to split hairs. Okay.
Judges
all right.
Sneaking them out on video out a side door is obstruction in itself. Whether they're illegal,
we don't know what's going on. We don't know what the judgment's going to be on this. You know, there are rules in the courtroom as well.
A felony judge.
There are rules in the courtroom.
Stripped of her judgeship.
Boy, you guys, really know more about the law than the actual people in the courthouse. So, you just got to wait for this thing to play out.
Ryan Brown Deere texts in.
Can you
Trump
wait?
broke the law and was convicted 34 times.
Yes, there you go. All right, let's move on.
Yeah, let's go on to Cindy now.
Cindy in Appleton.
Yes, hi Cindy.
Good afternoon.
I'm just continuing my oh my god, I can't believe that man is so warped. What about all the felons that the moron who's not in charge has let out of prison over the last couple of months?
Yeah, they broke the law.
What about all the laws that this moron who's not in charge does not follow? He does not abide by the Constitution. And CJ is talking about a judge from Wisconsin who is trying to protect someone who is in her courtroom. You have got the flippin'. You're kidding me. That man is so far out there. I don't know how he gets around in this world.
Yeah. And the thing is, Trump has really broken the law so many times. It's ridiculous. And he's gotten the Supreme Court to kind of go along with him. taking all of the power away from our Congress and giving it to the president in this case. So, yeah, he has broken the law and tariff laws as well. He shouldn't be deciding tariffs as well. So I don't know. It's like they certainly want to see law against the Democrats.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they want to see.
Cindy, thank you.
Yep. Yeah.
Let's move on to Trace calling from Portage.
I'm kind of beside myself here.
Okay.
I'm gonna calm down.
Take
I'm
a deep
just
breath.
Take it easy.
Trace, go ahead.
Hey, gentlemen, always a pleasure. I don't really want to touch CJ's dribble coming from the party of rules for thee, but not for me. I don't know. It's completely baseless.
Exactly.
I don't know.
Yep.
I was thinking about. I just kind of caught the tail end of the issue with cell phones in schools.
Mm-hmm.
I work at Sun Prairie West High School in Sun Prairie, and they've implemented the no cell phone policy.
Oh.
And I think you guys are completely right. It does start at home, and a lot of these kids, they're having a hard time not having their phones.
Yeah.
But I know, and I agree with your guest that a lot of it starts at home, where you don't have any sort of real community happening in the home because everybody's on their screens all the time.
Yeah.
So it makes it hard for them to then go to a learning environment and detach from that. I work special ed, so I don't really have to worry about that because my guys, they don't have phones.
Mm-hmm.
But the future is bleak, and I'm sorry to say it.
Trace, let me ask you, did they just put this policy into place recently, or was it?
This starting this school year, yeah.
Okay.
And they started it this school year, but the education system, and I'm sure a lot of it has to do with COVID, and a lot of my kids are behind. I mean, I have some 10th graders that are general ed that can hardly spell and read.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of it is parents want the free daycare of school, but they don't want to be on the teacher's side. Because I know growing up, my mom never would have believed me over the teacher.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Yeah, exactly.
Right. So, I mean, she knew I was in trouble before I got home, before I even knew I was in trouble sometimes. So I think there's this big disconnect that's happened where we want you to take care of our kids all day while we're in the workforce, but we don't want you to tell them how to do anything that they can do no wrong.
Right.
And I think a lot of that comes from the constant flow of just technology.
Well,
I'm of the opinion that I'm ready for like a massive solar flare, and we can just go back to living in caves.
Yeah, maybe that'll help everybody out a little bit. I think a lot of, and I also think Trace said it's a lot of misinformation also that's being put out there and scaring a lot of other parents into acting irrationally and then putting all the responsibility on the schools and the teachers. That's where I think a lot of this is stemming from.
I'm not a parent, so take this with a grain of salt.
All right.
But I think that a lot of the way that my parents use technology, they grew up, they didn't have cell phones. So then when they got them now, the ways they use them are to enhance their existing communication rather than to shut themselves in and fall down rabbit holes.
Mm-hmm.
Like my dad is the stereotypical Midwest dad pulling up trail cam pictures on his phone to show people.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's how he's using his phone, or doing some research for a project to then share with somebody.
Yeah.
Like he's using it as a resource to continue social behavior instead of an alternative to social behavior.
Well, I worry that someday all this information, as we have heard prior, could be accumulated and used against each and every one of us.
Yeah, probably.
And right now we're like in the Wild West.
Right, exactly.
And later on, there'll be so many limits on what you can do, see, anything. It'll just be extraordinarily different in the future. I don't want to see that happen, but unless we get a handle on this and start, educating ourselves over what technology can or cannot do and put some guardrails up. We've talked about this before on the morning show, where, if we put the guardrails up early on during the internet introduction, we would have probably saved ourselves a lot of problems. Now, this wild, crazy mega party out there want to just let AI happen.
Yeah.
Whatever happens, happens.
Genie's out of the bottle.
Yeah.
Let's go to Charles in Milwaukee. Charles, good afternoon.
Hey, good afternoon, guys. I have two things, if I can. The first one is, I don't want to call CJ racist, but it seems as if CJ has an issue with people of color. There are people that are doing it the right way, and they're picking those people up still. They're going to their hearings. I think it was maybe a week or two ago that a group of people were getting ready to be sworn in, and they went in and they took some of those people out of line.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure what CJ is talking about. I like I said, I don't want to call him a racist, but it seems as if he has an issue with people of color, because I know that there are Europeans, people that have overstayed their visas, and we don't see those two being rounded up, snatched, taken out of cars or anything. And my second point is, with the whole thing with the cell phones, when I was in education, I was at the same school for 18 years. And when they allowed cell phones, when they gave up that fight of keeping cell phones out of school, I thought it was the worst thing ever. There were two cousins. It was a family that was there, and there was two cousins that were in the same CD classroom, cognitively delayed classroom. They had a substitute teacher one day, and they didn't like something the substitute teacher said. I kid you guys not. These two kids, and they were maybe under 12 years old, both went out in the hallways with their cell phones, called their families, and the families were up at the school.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
And I believe that was a fight that schools should have never gave into, allowing kids to bring cell phones into the school building.
Yeah, they should have ended that right away. I know that Charlie Kirk's Turning Point USA had a list of professors, right? They would accumulate a list of professors and harass them after being reported by students who don't like their point of view. In other words, they were going after liberal professors who may have made a comment or had a subject matter that they didn't agree with, and then would report them to Turning Point USA. And then, of course, at that point, they would harass them and dox them, go after their families.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
Yeah. All right, Charles.
Charles, thank you for that call. Phone lines are back open, 855-752-4842. Apparently, we were not able to connect with George Cheng, and we'll try to reschedule that interview for another time. We hope to have that for you sometime soon.
Well, what do you think about Trump running for a third term?
Well, he said he's not going to do that. He's said that a number of times.
Well, I think maybe he's got
Is he changing his
little
mind?
enticement here.
Really?
And he might just do that.
What? You know, he's going to speak to the nation tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe he'll have some announcements. Never know.
You never know.
Not with him. Anything can happen. All right. We're coming back in just a moment with more of John and Gordy. We'll wrap things up for this Wednesday after this.
In a dream, I can't really I've seen. Oh, stop and listen.
Between the lakes and beyond the headlines, 92.7 FM WMDX is where Wisconsin turns for real news and great conversation.
As the season of celebration begins, David J. Frank Landscape extends heartfelt thanks to their clients, their community, and everyone who made 2025 a year of growth. While the snow falls, the David J. Frank team remains hard at work keeping properties safe and beautiful all winter long and designing next spring's dream yards. From their family to yours, happy holidays. From David J. Frank, Wisconsin's trusted landscape partner since 1959. Visit davidjfrank.com to start planning your 2026 landscape today.
Transform your bathroom with the beautiful quality of Bath Planet. Bath Planet has earned the Good Housekeeping Seal, a symbol of quality and consumer confidence for over 100 years. And right now, for a limited time, you could upgrade your bathroom for 50% off installation or choose 18 months with no interest and no payments. But you need to call now. This special offer is only available by calling 800-329-4115. That's 800-329-4115. Call 800-329-4115 right now before the offer ends.
Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer.
Rudolph is a holiday classic, and there's a Wisconsin connection. Maury Laws composed music for the animated show in 1964. He continued arranging hundreds of songs from his Appleton home after leaving New York 20 years later. During that time, Laws created one quirky pop song. Do you know what it is? The answer coming up.
Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer is sort of where a lot of people's core Christmas memories come from.
Emily Locke with the Oshkosh Museum on holiday traditions around Rudolph. Laws worked for the TV production company behind the show and also wrote music for Frosty the Snowman. And about the silly song he composed? Yes, Itsy Bitsy Teeny Weeny Yellow Polka Dot Bikini. Laws died in 2019 at the age of 95, but his music lives on as a wonderful slice of Wisconsin. I'm Terry Barr for the Civic Media Radio Network.
Now there's a new way to take charge of your blood sugar. Introducing New Garlic Healthy Blood Sugar Formula from the makers of the nation's best-selling garlic supplement. New Garlic helps maintain healthy blood sugar levels with clinically supported levels of garlic, plus a custom blend of vitamins and minerals, and it's odor-free. Take charge of your blood sugar with New Garlic Healthy Blood Sugar Formula. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Use as directed.
A fresh perspective on the great outdoors.
What did you do this week that was fun? My weekly Wisco was actually going to be the snowfall. Now that's enough for the year. That's my opinion of it.
Now you're over.
I'm over the snowfall. It is nice for hunting because you can see the animals a little more clearly, but I will take the end of the snowfall.
Raised in Wisco with Joel Clayfish and Danielle Fairman. Find the podcast on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts.
Know what's happening.
Just enough for the city.
John and Gordy in the afternoon. Got an interesting story about a third term for Trump.
Really?
But another story that's caught my attention, we might have part of this tomorrow, is the electric car transition is unraveling, and it's unraveling quickly. So
Well,
now
what are you
it's
talking
not
about?
just in the U.S. because Trump has turned his back on EVs, but it's happening in Europe and all around the world now, except for China, because they're the ones making most of the cars, the EV cars.
They're pushing ahead.
But for some reason, now this is how they look at it, though. They had these timelines. You know, they're going to phase out all gasoline cars, sales of gasoline cars by 2040 or 2050, something like that.
Right.
And if they can't make that, then they call it a failure and it's unraveling and people aren't buying EVs. It's not like that at all. It's just a slower ebb of moving to an electric vehicle. And the mileage will go up. The batteries are much better now. You heard about the new technology that they've come up with in regards to batteries that last a long, long time,
right,
and get a lot more mileage. So I think all of this is a little premature, that the EV market is going under. I don't know. If I've said this, if they just had little places along the street or in big parking lots
where they have chargers?
No, not where they have chargers, but where they have an electric vehicle where you could give it a ride and take it out for a ride.
Take it out for a spin
and see what it's like.
Promote it a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Show people how really nice these vehicles are. How well, you've been in one. You
let me
drove
draw.
one.
Yeah. I drove yours,
and it was just all power.
It was
wasn't it?
very cool.
Yeah,
Maybe they could do that with the rapid transit buses here in Madison. They've got these electric buses. Maybe you could just swap out with the driver and give it a
There you
whirl.
go. See, yeah, let's sample driving a bus.
Well, I
not
think you're
that.
biased on this because you got an EV and you love it, and that's great. But now
I've reported to you all the problems I've had with the charging
you have
stations.
had a number of problems.
They have charging stations all over,
Yeah.
but a lot of those charging stations don't work.
That's a problem.
So that's a problem, right?
But why don't they work? I mean, you said it was like they had a group of 10 of them and 4 of them didn't work, or 5 of them
something
didn't.
like that. Yeah,
I mean, it's like, that's
Well,
crazy.
here's the thing: major corporations have these charging stations.
Okay.
There's maybe 1, 2, 3, or 3 big ones.
Yeah,
and they own all these charging stations all over,
right.
and they're like international companies.
Right.
So when I call and I say, on East Washington Avenue, this charging station isn't working.
Right.
It's not like they're going to scramble to fix
They don't
it.
send somebody out right away, huh? They don't send somebody from Best Buy. What's the
Geek
crew?
Squad.
The Geek Squad. They don't go out there and get their soldering irons fired up.
I mean, you're dealing with a lot of voltage there. You don't want to, just send a Geek Squad guy out, to test if the circuit's on. It's one of those things where you really have to it's an early part of the industry. You really have to get out there and enjoy these vehicles while you can.
Sure.
I don't know. The prices are coming down on these things. Gasoline engines, there's a lot of upkeep, oil changes. You have to, tune up the engine,
Yes.
spark plugs.
Gotcha.
Coolant,
you got an oil change. Yes.
all this weird stuff that you don't need anymore, right? I'm in heaven thinking I don't have to deal with that stuff.
Well, okay.
The only thing, if they can just do something about the windshield wipers.
Well, I was going to ask you about the windshield wipers. You have to put the washer in there, don't you, for the windshield wipers? Do you still do that?
Actually, the warning is coming up on my car now, saying I need to put washer fluid in.
Well, you got to do a few things.
The thing that bothers me about my EV6 is that it doesn't have a windshield wiper on the back window.
Yeah.
What?
The car I have right now is the first one I've had where it doesn't have a rear windshield wiper, and that's very annoying.
Yeah, it's annoying, but the aerodynamics of it don't require a windshield wiper anymore.
Okay.
Because of the air flow and everything, it keeps all of the stuff off the window. It blows it right off. So
okay. I notice you still have some snow on the roof, though. Doesn't it have a heater on the roof?
It's well insulated, my friend.
Okay. Well,
all right.
These things happen with new technology, like we've talked about with solar and with wind technology. I mean, it takes a few years to work out the kinks, and
it does.
And then it takes off, suddenly, I mean, things start to fall into place and new technology really settles in.
It's like all these professionals just couldn't wait to say EVs are dead.
Oh,
the whole industry is going away. That's ridiculous. This is in the free market. We're moving in that direction. Suddenly, Trump come in. I got to say this too.
Yeah.
It shows the importance of the U.S. consumer.
Okay.
If it doesn't happen here, it could actually affect the other countries,
the whole world,
and what happens. Yeah. So
except China.
Except for China,
they're the ones.
They're the ones making the EVs.
They're way ahead of everybody.
Beautiful, low-priced cars.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Hey,
well,
coming up
another buying mistake on my part. Wait till I get the
that's not a mistake.
AI glasses.
They're on the way, right?
They should be on the way. I still don't know.
They didn't cancel your order.
Not yet.
You tried to cancel.
I tried to cancel. I changed my mind,
and then they said they're coming.
Well, no, they're trying to figure out what a glass prescription is.
Oh, that's the problem now, the prescription. Okay. Yeah. Coming up tomorrow on the afternoon show, we'll welcome back Tim Slecker from Busted Pencils, also Jim Santel, former U.S. Attorney at Law, and Rocker will be back in the studio with a Max Inc. preview. That's going to do it for us. Pete Schwaba is next with Nightlight. Aaron Zommers, thank you for producing our show today. What would we do without you?
I know.
We'd struggle. We would have no idea what to do. Just go in there and start pushing buttons at random. Nothing would happen.
There you go.
Well, things would happen.
Okay. Oh, we're getting late word here. Dan Bongino, Deputy FBI Director, is stepping down. More on the news coming up next. So long.